All right, welcome in everybody. Thanks for being here tonight. Happy Friday night. Hope everybody's having a great one. We've got a great show lined up for you. As always, we never fail to disappoint, or we never disappoint to fail. Either way you want to look at it, we do welcome everybody in here. We've got some people watching over on X. We've got people tuned in on all kinds of platforms all across of YouTube as well. So thanks a lot for being here. We hope everybody's ready to talk about. We got some 3-eye Atlas updates coming at you. We're going to talk about sleep paralysis, lucid dreaming, and maybe a little bit about the old hag. I know nobody ever wants to see the old hag. We've probably all seen her before. As always, we've got here with us our famous Instagram star, the philanthropist, the only lady I know that owns 2 jets, Gutters Pub. How you doing tonight, Gutters?
Doing great. Glad to be back.
Yeah, good to have you back, as always. Plus, we've got the country music sensation, studio recording artist KJ joining us again tonight. How you doing tonight, KJ?
Hey guys, happy Friday. Woo woo.
Well, get that woot woot. Couldn't go on with the show without a woot woot. We got Nathan from Old Man Builds, our token mad scientist, coming in here to join us again tonight. How you doing tonight, Nathan?
Great, man. Looking forward to some sleep paralysis.
Everybody looks forward to that. And we've got joining us Joe Straight Dope. He knows a lot about sleep paralysis, so he's going to be teaching us a little bit about that tonight. How you doing tonight, Joe?
I'm doing good, and all I got to say is if you're tired, go to sleep now, because after this, you're not going to want
I like it. Don't get scared away. Don't get scared away, people, because we got to go in for you. And as always, we have our esteemed Mr. Producer. How you doing tonight, Mr. Producer? Look at that. The producer. Doesn't even know he's muted. Probably sitting there talking to us.
I've been doing stuff in the back, Hush. I haven't been able to sleep in the past couple of days because, well, it's definitely not because of sleep paralysis or anything.
Well, maybe after tonight you'll sleep well. So, yeah, we appreciate you being here, as always, Mr. Producer. So thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. We're going to get this show started here in just one moment. So everybody sit back and get ready for a night of fun. All right, we'll take a minute. We'll welcome in some fun people. We got Vortex coming in here. Good to see you, Vortex. We got Amy Lynn. What is going on, Amy Lynn? We got Troy V. Hey, good to see you, Troy V. Haven't seen you in a while. I was hoping to maybe see our Ohio State and Miami matchup. But, speaking of Dave Brown, the Bourbon Hunter, congrats on your Louisville Bird with Teeth beating my Canes. Love you, Dave Brown. Good to see you. Dozer up in here. Good to see you, Dozer, as always. We got Multi. Happy birthday to you. Wasn't it your birthday? I think so. I think it was Multi's birthday. Good to see you, Multi. Happy birthday. Dispatch Center. What is up, Dispatch Center? Good to see you up in here, brother. All right. We got any other ones coming up here? Who else we got in here? I can run down through. We got James Thompson in here. Good to see you, James Thompson. Who's that? Carson Beck. Exactly. The interception machine tonight. We got, there's Dave Brown up in here again. We got Jan. Good to see you, Jan. Jan does like. Good to see you, Jan.
We also have Sun Honey.
We got Sun Honey. Good to see you, Sun Honey. There you go. We're running down through these things. We got Miss Scarlett in here. Good to see you, Miss Scarlett, as always. Love the picture. Lightspeed up in here. Good to see you, Lightspeed. Matt Dummett. What's up, Matt Dummett? Damn it, Dummett. Wanda E. Good to see you, Wanda E. And Karen from HR, always checking in with us. Always good to see you, Karen. We are not misbehaving, I promise. All right, we want to flow down through there a little faster. That would be cool.
It is hard to keep up with this
Mr.
whole
Producer.
MMO.
I'll run down through it. I'll get the
this.
rest of it. I'll run down through it. We got Maui Howie up in here. Good to see you, Maui Howie. Son Honey, good to see you, Son Honey. We've got Straight Dope up in the chat. Funny to see you there. Honest Jeff, good to see you, Honest Jeff. We got Vortex in here. Amy Lynn, as always, good to see Amy Lynn. Let's see who else. We got KJ in the chat. What the hell are you doing in there, KJ? Let's see who else we got coming in here. It is hard to keep up with. A lot of people coming in on 4 channels. So good to see everybody. If I missed your name, I do apologize. I didn't do it on purpose. Big Dog Maw up in here as well. Good to see you, Big Dog Maw. So what do you say we get this dang party started? I know these people aren't just here to listen to me ramble on and on and on. So that being said, welcome in everybody. Thanks a lot for being here. Whether you're watching over on X, we got this streaming out on Gutters Pub. We got it going out on Old Man Builds. We've got it going on LW's channel. He's probably going to be joining us here in a little while. Let's see. I think that's everywhere that it's going, but yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. It's going out on like 7 platforms. So we got 101 beautiful people in here watching us right now. Thank you very much to everybody being here, no matter where you're coming from. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. So take it away from me, guys. I've ran my mouth long enough. How's it going?
It is. I don't know how you do that, man. Like I'm sitting. Okay, this is my first time trying to do it. What he does in the back, trying to click on the comments, and it's going so fast. I keep misclicking. I'm like, okay, I don't know how you do it.
It's an art, man. It is an art. You just got to kind of just float away and just let the imagination go wild.
I guess I just don't know, man. I just don't know how you actually end up doing that, man. That's just a lot of clicking.
Lots of clips. And we still got more people coming in here. We got 3 awesome dogs. Good to see you, brother, as always. So on to the show. So what the heck are we talking about? I know we want to talk a little bit about 3i Atlas. Baker, don't you have an update on that? What the hell's going on with 3i Atlas?
You know, that rock is still flying into space. Back to you, fools.
There we go. Well, thank you very much. Just kidding. I think he does actually have some content to talk about 3i Atlas. I'm hoping so, at least. Okay,
yeah. Cool. I got some. First, I want to give an update from our favorite, not my new favorite person to follow is AZ Desert Rider 26 over there on TikTok. he is absolutely on fire lately. He's been posting some bangers out there. I gotta share this out for everybody. So
now is he that loony guy that we looked at last week?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Very eccentric.
Has he started pacing around the room yet on his lives and saying nothing?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, anyways, this is the update. This is his latest thing. It's all connected. You know, it's always connected with this guy. He's going down some crazy ass rabbit holes. I tell you what, but here, just take a listen to this.
About the rest of you, but it's kind of interesting, right? When everybody's supposed to be looking at the sky, the entire everything is cloudy. Ain't that suspicious how all of a sudden we're getting all these storms and clouds when we're all supposed to be looking at the sky? Makes you kind of wonder what cloud seeding does. Huh.
We're on cloud seeding
Amazing
now.
how everything's cloudy all of a sudden.
Looks like there's clouds everywhere except for where there's not.
Everything.
Yeah.
That was a hell of an observation you made there. So he continues on with this. Way to go, TikTok. Look at this. Look at this crap. Get your shit together.
Well, yeah, it is the
So
team
because
of
I
YouTube.
watch the sky and I'm always looking up instead of down at my phone like the rest of the world, I'm always trying to pay attention to the weather patterns, the cloud patterns, and all that stuff. So I watch this all the time, and right here, I don't know if you can see it, but I see like vertical lines in the pattern right here and right here only. Nowhere else. And it's kind of funny how this observatory in Hawaii is completely blocked. It's going to be completely blocked by clouds. None of these clouds are moving. When you put this in motion, they're all not moving. That's not normal, people. There's no
He
jet
hasn't hit
stream
play.
happening. Like, you can put
It
this
probably
in
just
motion.
has a bad
and walk.
TV.
There's nothing happening here, people.
So basically what he's getting at is that he thinks now HARP is been turned on. He thinks it's all been turned on now, and it's trying to block amateur telescope views from the 3i Atlas.
He does know they go at an angle. They don't go straight up, right? I mean, he does kind of realize that, right?
I don't know what he realizes.
I don't even know what the hell he's talking about.
I have no. Yeah,
He's talking
so
about
lost
cloud
with this
seeding.
video.
He's talking about how the government's turned HARP back on, controlling the clouds, and he's basically alluding to the fact that the observatory in Hawaii is about to get covered up by clouds when it should be looking at 3i Atlas.
Is this recent? How recent is
this? Was today? It was today, I think.
Because he's like
Yeah, it was a day
clouds
ago.
everywhere. I'm like, we
Right,
haven't had a
Laura?
cloud in the sky for like days.
It was a day ago, according
It's
to
been beautiful.
A
the
day
old
ago.
ticker talk. No, a
You know,
day ago.
it's guys like
Oh,
this saying
okay.
stuff like this that takes all the credibility of like a program like HARP that probably does exist and just puts it into such a whack place that it becomes unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'm not saying okay, listen, I want to go on record and say I'm not trying to put words in this guy's mouth, but I mean, he has it right there. Something's up with this. It's not right. Possible HARP being used. I'm assuming he's coming to this conclusion that you're using HARP to cover up these telescopes so they can't see 3i Atlas. That's just what I've come to my own conclusion. Don't want to speculate what he thinks.
Fair.
But I don't think there really has been any super critical updates with 3i Atlas. I do have another video that I wanted to show everybody. I won't show the whole thing. It's 12 minutes long. Of course, we won't do the whole thing, but it does do a really good job of kind of breaking down all of the updates so far that's happened with 3i Atlas. This guy, he's from Mindseed TV. He's got loads of subscribers, but if anybody here hasn't subscribed to him, I highly suggest it. He's entertaining. I like his channel. So I'm going to play a little bit of his stuff just to kind of get it going. But
It
obviously,
looks like
I
he's
said, we
about to
won't-
smack me or something.
I know.
I'm
It's
like,
like,
over here, like, oh shit, this guy's going to jump out at me and rough me up or something.
Hey, have you never watched any of his stuff before?
No, let's check it out. He looks
Okay.
interesting.
Here we go. We're going to play some of it right now.
You know that I talked about 3i Atlas a couple months ago in a UFO compilation video, and I told you that you should be keeping your eyes on this thing. And why did the government shut down NASA's live stream? We have so many things to talk about, and I have some cool footage to show you that you might not have seen. I'm going to give you all the updates that you need to know right now. The government shutdown happened right at a time when 3i Atlas was going to be the closest to Mars where we could actually observe this thing.
The government shutdown is stopping us from getting pictures of this thing?
Yes.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Now, does anybody else find it interesting? I mean, the conspiracy theorists are going out of control because the government shutdown happened, and then it just so happens that NASA goes dark. But I mean, there's other space agencies out there. It's not, I mean, America's not funding all of them. At least I don't think they are.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's like maybe the other agencies are withholding data. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean,
But,
we have, China has a big, a lot of presence up there. I mean, I would think Russia probably still does. Japan, lots of other countries. They're not sending any, new data that I've seen.
I haven't even looked for any of their stuff. I've just been kind of letting the YouTubers like Mindseed TV kind of fill me in on all of the goods that are happening. What I'm saying is I'm too lazy to go look.
Okay, cool.
But, let's continue.
Humanity has an object coming close enough that we could observe it for the third time.
Hold on. Does it look like his cat's been chewed on by a dog or something? Anybody notice that right there? Right there. Look at that. Look at it. I think some. I don't know why I pointed that out, but it just caught my eye.
In our
Look at that.
recorded history, and they have a blackout. Nobody can look at it. Nobody can access it. How convenient is that? Just take a moment to let all that soak in. The third time in our recorded history, and the government shuts down, stop the public from observing this right at that time. Do you really think that's a coincidence? And what about the other countries around the world? Because we're not the only country with space agencies. China, Russia, Europe, If this is truly the third interstellar object that we've had come into our solar system that we could observe, you'd think that other countries would be broadcasting tons of live footage about it. It would be all over like mainstream news, but everybody seems to be staying silent. Everyone except for one, because there was a video that leaked from the European Space Agency. There's a ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter orbiting Mars, and it captured footage of 3I Atlas. Now take a look at this. We have an object that looks like it's just flying through the stars, whatever. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. The footage doesn't look that spectacular at first when you look at it. If we slow this down and zoom in, there are some strange things happening in this footage. It makes some very strange shapes.
All 6 pixels of it looks really
I was going to say,
revealing.
Looks like an Atari game.
I've seen better graphics on a regular NES.
For real.
It's got some good stuff he's smoking.
Look, it's a ghost sprite. Ridiculous.
Wow.
I mean, I kind of feel like a lot of these folks are stretching, but it's content for him. It's definitely content. But yeah, I feel like some of these folks are stretching. But here, I'll play a little bit more of this because it does have a, I don't know. You tell me.
It changes shape as it's moving. If you look, you could see lights around this thing in a square shape turning on and off as this thing is moving.
Now, you guys remember last week how our buddy Arizona bike rider guy, he was talking about the armada of ships coming.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, this is the same stuff that people were talking about last week and how there's other objects coming with this 3I Atlas interstellar space rock. So,
aren't they saying that it is made up of, was it nickel or something like that? So it's that it is shiny, and reflecting off, the light is reflecting off.
It's made of different metals, and I think that also the comet tail is pointed the wrong way. I'm not claiming to be an expert on this, but I'm just listening to the other people on YouTube that claim to be experts on this, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, whatever you say.
Everybody on the internet's an expert. I mean, the thing is very odd, and what it's doing is quite interesting, and it is it is interesting to watch and keep up with it. And I did see somebody said it's behind the sun right now, and it is, I think, still behind the sun. But are we going to be able to view this thing like in the night sky when it goes past Earth? Or no?
There are amateur astronomers that are catching it with their telescope, yes, or have. But I still haven't heard. It's like ever since the government shut down, the whole idea of moving the Juno spacecraft away from Jupiter and having it intercept this, I have no idea where we're at on that. I still think that's the best idea I've heard. And then, of course, if it doesn't happen, you're going to have the conspiracy theorists out there saying, well, the government just doesn't want to see it. They don't want this information out because it's really what this is. And I don't know.
Maybe we could put the IRS on it. I mean, that's the only government agency that's still working during a shutdown.
Oh, of course, right.
Yeah.
You speaking from experience?
No, thank God.
All right. I'll play a little bit more.
It's weird looking.
And I don't know why it's weirder than other comets.
But it does seem like it's going, loop, loop. It's like rolling in a weird way. It's what it's releasing is the weird part.
And there is some explanations for why this thing is making these strange shapes. What scientists are saying is that it's due to gases being released. In other words, this thing is just flying through outer space, farting and doing backflips. But to me, it looks like it has blinking lights on it, or it's just changing shape or formation. I don't know, but I don't really look at enough of these to know if that's what comets normally do. But here's the strangest part of all. This is like the newest update. Scientists are now saying that 3I Atlas is flat.
3I Atlas, one of the most...
Oh, God, here we go. The flat earthers were right.
Oh, my God. So we got a flat
Oh, us globetards are really fucked.
I fell out of my chair.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
All right, we're moving forward with this.
dazzling objects to enter our solar system ever. The object is super flat and it emits a visible glow even when sunlight is minimal. What makes it even more mysterious is that the light appears to come from within rather than from being reflected. Another unusual trait of 3i Atlas is self-illuminating pattern. The glow at the front of the object suggests that some internal energy source may be active. This could indicate either an advanced reflective composition or a form of energy output we have never observed before.
So when we look at all the things together that scientists have been saying make this comet so strange, now they're saying it's flat, it's made of mostly nickel, there's no iron traces in it, it's been emitting a strange glow. They're saying that it's turned green at times. They're also saying that it didn't have a tail behind it, it had a tail in front of it for a little while. It's been changing course every 4 hours or so. And the reason that they're saying it's changing course is because the gas being emitted is like making it flip-flop as it's moving around. And if you didn't know, it's moving like 137,000 miles per hour. Insane.
So yeah.
There's a lot of insane stuff that was just said.
Yeah, like who did their animation? They said it's completely flat, and then you see this rock that's not flat at all.
I know.
And then everything was spherical, and we're seeing lights on it. It's like, oh my god, dude, why don't you just stop all of that? Draw the picture.
I know they at least could have got a good like lake skipping rock or something like that.
Right,
Up there. I mean, could you imagine
flat.
trying to skip that thing down the lake? Ain't no way that's going to happen.
No. And can we talk about what Joe Rogan was wearing? What is happening in that episode? Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I noticed they were like dressed like priests, I think.
Right.
Is that? I was kind of wondering too, you know.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Anyway.
Not sure.
So this next section of this video, it goes over what we talked about before last week, and then I brought it up week before last about the WOW signal and how this is coming from the same general area. This is kind of the last part that I wanted to show you guys before we dive into the real reason we're here. But Tanner, take a look at this.
Well, the weird part is coming from the same part of the universe where the WOW signal came from.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's weird.
That's fucking weird.
The WOW signal was a transmission that was picked up in 1977. They picked up a transmission coming from deep space that lasted for 72 seconds. And the transmission replicated something like a radio transmission. So to get a radio transmission from outer space, from deep space, it had to be coming from somewhere.
Like sending a fax.
That's exactly what it sounds like.
The person that discovered it literally wrote WOW on the transmission printout, and that's how it got its name, the WOW transmission. This is where it gets interesting. 3i Atlas is apparently coming from the same direction and the same part of space that transmission was received in 1977. That's kind of odd, because if I point up right now at the sky, there's a million different directions to point, okay? Standing on different places in the earth, there's a million directions that we could point out into space. What are the chances that the direction that 3i Atlas is coming from is from the same direction that the WOW transmission was received, 50 something years ago now? That's kind of weird, right? And then you have people like Avi Loeb, who everyone is calling this guy crazy. They're saying he's a nut job. They're dismissing him. But he's been saying for so long that there's a strong possibility that this is some sort of technology. This is some sort of craft. There's too many anomalies with it.
3i Atlas could be.
So, I guess the sum this up without having to play the whole entire video, obviously, is just because this is coming from the same part of space. Yeah, what's the coincidence? What's the chances? I don't really know. I'm not a mathematician on that. But there are a lot of strange things that are tied to this rock. And I think that's why a lot of people it's captivated a lot of attention. And in my opinion, it's fun, it's entertaining for me, but I don't think any of this has anything to do with anything. I think it's a comet. I think it's a rock.
Can I give some commentary on the point, all the points this guy made? Because check this out. Your forward-facing tail Okay, anytime you have a large mass approaching the sun, it becomes subject, like we are, right, to the sun's radiation. That radiation is in a non-manifest state of energy until it interacts with matter large enough to make it come about. Okay, and that creates the energy at the front end of it, the way that it's coming, because it is coming toward the sun, right, until it's not. And that's the first kind of part of it. The second part of it is like the whole flipping motion. Well, if you're in space and there's no friction, there's no center of gravity, so to speak, that it's subject to. The thing was flung out at one point in time, it would continue that motion even along multiple axis points pretty much indefinitely until it's interrupted. There's simply nothing to stop it. I think that kind of says, because where's the evidence that it's emitting gas? There's no evidence of that. They're just theorizing that maybe that's why it's rotational. It could be a lot simpler than that. And then with the transmission thing, I mean, that's a little weird, I guess. But at the same exact time, if you received the signal from the origin that it was coming from, it's that far out, right? What makes you think that if it was coming from it, that now that it's close, that we wouldn't be receiving that signal more readily? It could have just been a fluke that they picked it up from it at one point in time, because the way that space transmission works is that everything's in a state of transient potential until it's received, right? So that's sort of where I'm at with all of it. I don't know. Like, I think it's a rock. I think it's interesting. I'm glad it's not going to like hit us or any of the planets in our solar system. I think that's pretty cool, you know. But
I'm pretty happy that, you know, my tail is facing forward and not backwards as well.
Amen. Until you've seen somebody wear a bumblebee costume backwards, you know.
Exactly.
I saw that last week, and that was interesting.
Well, anyways, that's your update.
So there's your 3i Atlas update.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what the hell it is. We'll find out soon.
Yeah, we're on the case. We'll figure it out.
Well, it's nice to know it has lights, though. I mean, just saying.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a blow dryer.
All right. Are you trying to make a joke, Gunners?
I was trying.
Okay. Yes, definitely.
Right
I was
over
waiting on the
you
punchline. I was waiting for it. You know?
Okay. I tried.
Okay.
Went over your head.
We need that sound effect for Gutters.
Right. Where's the gong?
Yeah, I can find that gong. Where is it? I've never used it, but I think
it may be needed.
Definitely sounds good.
There you go.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so moving on. There's your 3i Atlas update. You got any other stuff for us there, Baker, on that, or are we jumping right into the scary stuff?
We're gonna jump into the scary stuff, but before we do, I do have something to say. That I found this out a few months ago, and I met somebody recently that now has confirmed this, but I don't know how many people in chat knew that approximately 5 to 10% of people in this world don't have inner monologues, right? I thought that was crazy. It's like, what do you mean you don't like, you can't listen to yourself talk in your head and none of that? Whereas 30 to 50% of people do have that ability. But I just thought, okay, this is just some crap made up, right? No, I actually met somebody and he explained it. He explained how that worked. I'm like, so you don't like have conversation with yourself in the head, you know, like you're not like trying to work out a problem. You're not trying to like, you know, if you have something to do, you're not saying, okay, I got to do this first, and I got to drive downtown, I got to drop mail at the post office, and I got to go to grocery store and pick up something. You don't do that. Like, no, it's like they formulate words in their head, or they formulate images, and that's how they think. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. There is a percentage of people that can do a combination of both, but I thought that this was completely wild when I found this out, because I never bothered to ask, hey, can you hear yourself talk? You know, I just figured, you know, like people like Gutters can always hear yourself talk, but
yes, I thought everybody.
I mean,
could.
I've been doing it the whole time you were talking.
Exactly.
Well, I have a big mouth and I'm a visual person, so hell yeah, I can do both.
But have you guys ever heard of this? Is this information? Is this new information to you guys, or is this just me?
I can't even imagine that someone can't do that.
Right. It would almost seem like you're like a vegetable or something if you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm jealous. I'm totally jealous of anybody who doesn't constantly have this thing going in their head going, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do. Oh, wait, that's my wife talking to me. Sorry about that.
Well, and when we're on this show, it's honestly me doing that to you guys. So come on.
That's funny.
But
no, that's crazy. I would never have thought that. Now I'll be thinking about it and talking to myself about it the whole time.
Right.
Well, I feel like we have somebody now on panel that can kind of maybe fill us in on that. With that being said, Straight Dope, hanging it to you.
Right. All right. So we were thinking about sleep paralysis today, which is horrifying. So that's something that I've experienced before. And frankly, when the first time I had sleep paralysis, which for those of you that don't know, the basic explanation, and go further into it, of sleep paralysis is that it's like you are in your bed, you're basically awake, or at least you think you are, and you're pinned down. You really can't move. And there also is a hyper awareness of the room that you're in and everything in the room. And for a lot of people, that's enough. But for some people, what ends up happening is there's a sensation of a presence. And that presence often becomes visualized in a very realistic way and more or less superimposed over the reality of your room. And it's a very terrifying thing because you think you're already up, so you really can't wake up. And even once you realize that you might be sleeping, you still can't wake yourself up. And even when you're out of it, it becomes very surreal when it stops, because at that point, your reality has just become twisted. You don't even know if you're out of it or not. So it's very, very fascinating stuff. Yeah. Has anybody else here experienced?
Well, that's what I was about. I realized I was muted. That's what I was about to ask. I've only had it twice. And the weird thing is, both the dreams that I had when I had it, I was in the exact same place.
Mm.
And, it's always this thing where I go down, and it's only happened to me twice, and it's really creepy because I always go and I'm like working in somebody's home. And I go down, and I think this goes with the lucid dreaming kind of as well. And I know, like the first time, obviously I didn't remember, I went down a stairs and there was like some kind of entity in this thing, and I'm in this basement. And, it's so blurry when you try to look back and try to remember exactly what it was. But it was like this demon thing coming to get me. And I'm in this basement, and then, I walk down the stairs and I see it, and then I see this thing coming out, and the door's locked, and I can't get out. And I'm trying to get out the first time, and then, I'm sitting there, I'm like freaking out. And I remember that there's a door over here, and I'm trying to get to this door because it's not locked. Now, the second time, and then I come out of it, and I wake, I was like in this cold sweat, panicking, I'm like, oh my God, and I'm awake the whole time. The second time, I remember going to the door and going and opening the door and starting to walk down the stairs and go, I know where I am. In my dream, and I went down, and the exact same thing started happening, and I managed to go to that one door that was unlocked and got out and woke up. And it really freaked me out. I've never had that since, but I'm always scared if I'm ever doing work in somebody's house or anything like that, then I'm going to go and I'm going to walk down into a basement and be like, holy cow, I'm in that basement. Like, no, I'm going straight to that door and getting the hell out of there. But yeah, that's my only experience with it.
So here's the thing. Now, what you said is horrifying, but that's not sleep paralysis. The sleep paralysis is different because there's no question as to where you are. It's not this familiar sense. You're literally looking at the room that you are physically in. And
right. I think that would go more with the lucid dreaming is what I was getting at.
Yeah. If you were like somewhat in control of it.
Right. I remembered the dream again. Yeah, I wasn't really going with the sleep paralysis, but more with the lucid dreaming.
By the way.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts of weird stuff I could tell you about dreams and just that I've experienced and just how it comes to be. But kind of cut to the chase with the sleep paralysis. I'll tell you about my first experience. So I was laying in bed alone, and I woke up and I literally just tried to move and I couldn't, and that kind of freaked me out. And I felt like something pulling on me, and like it was like a very heavy feeling, like heavy gravity. That's the best way to put it, just like pinned down. And anytime I tried to move, I couldn't. And I looked toward the doorway, and in the doorway was this smoky apparition. It was like this wispy, smoky apparition. And I became like very convinced at that point after feeling this like tugging, because it was like not a physical tug. It felt like wind, but inside of me. Like that's how it kind of felt. And it felt like it was being dragged toward this thing. And I actually felt like, even though I wasn't really moving, I felt like I was being dragged toward this thing. And I could like feel it, like kind of wisping off, yeah, it was just very, very strange. And I was convinced at that moment that whatever was going on was real, because I'm experiencing it and it's full blown real. It's in my room. I'm looking around. It's everything that I know. And I was convinced it was like trying to steal my soul or something. Like I have no idea what was going on. I was just like praying to Jesus at that point. It was about all you could do, but you're also trying to get away. It started dragging me toward the door, like physically. And then I'm just like literally clawing my way away from it, and I would like make some momentum, and it felt like digging through the sand with your hands to move. It's exactly what it sounds like. And then the crazy thing is you end up back in your bed, and then it just starts all over again. So you think you're out of it. You look around, you're like, okay, it's quiet. Okay, I don't feel that. You look around, and then you're like, all right, I need to get up. I need to get out of bed. And then all of a sudden, it starts pulling you again. And it's like you look and it's there, and you're like, I thought that this was over, and it's not. And it just goes on and on like that until you finally actually do wake up. And when you do wake up, it feels exactly the same as all the other times that you thought you woke up. And you get out of bed that time, and you're not sure whether you're still there or not. And it's horrifying. So that was the first time, but there's been other experiences as well. See what we got here.
Now let me ask this real fast before we go on any further. KJ, have you ever had any of these experiences? You ever had sleep paralysis?
Yeah, I've had. I wish I could remember details, but over a handful of times for sure. I'm pinned down in my bed and I'm trying to scream. I'm trying to wake myself up. And like in those movies where you see someone with no mouth, and they're like, it's that type of experience. And my husband's woke me up and been like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm like, it's terrifying but I don't remember the surrounding events. I just don't. But just trying to wake myself up, and I couldn't, and I was trying to scream to get out. This happened it's happened many times. But I don't remember so vivid like you guys.
You don't remember anything you've seen or
no.
Like that.
In other dreams, like I've dreamt, like you see in the movies or the cartoons where it's like a black room, so you're like in this empty space. Many times I've been in that and falling, and that's just, it's always the same when I dream that. It's always the same space, and I'm just falling and everything. It's so weird and scary. But that I remember that specifically because it's been repetitive. But when I'm not able to speak, and I can't remember the details, I just always remember being terrified. And that's it. That's all I can remember.
Yeah, that's it. It's a terrifying thing. What about you, Gutters? You ever have any of this?
Mine wasn't. Mine was kind of induced. I went in for surgery, and when I came out of surgery, Marv said I said things that I don't remember saying at all. But when I got back into the room, I remember the doctor I could hear the doctor asking Marvin what time he wanted to take me home. And he said, you can take her home anywhere from 3 to 6 in the evening. Well, I'm screaming 3, but nothing's coming out. And he's saying 6 o'clock, and I was so mad. I was like, no, I want to go home at 3.
He's headed to the local bar around the corner.
Right,
He's like, hey, if you don't care, just
I'll
pump
choose
that
6.
IV a little more, I'll be back in 3 hours.
You did 3 more hours. Nice.
So, but anyways, in reality, I wasn't awake. I mean, I couldn't move. I could hear them and I could see them, but I couldn't talk. So, yeah, that was a little frustrating, but it was from the anesthesia is why that
surgery is so scary, and waking up from anesthesia, horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
So what about you, Nathan? You got any experience with this?
No, not really.
Nice.
Good for
That's
you.
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's a very positive thing.
He's one of those people that doesn't have an inner monologue and doesn't dream.
I got
Is that true?
Inner monologue.
Okay, yeah, the inner monologue.
He's calling me a motherfucker right now.
My
He's
daughter,
like, close.
my daughter used to sleepwalk, and I'd be watching TV out in the living room, and all of a sudden you'd see her. She'd been asleep for hours, and I'd see her get up, walk right in front of me, and head for the door, and it's like, "Where you going? No, and she's asleep, and
scary.
the worst was trying to get her back to bed and not really wake her up. So yeah, that was a little freaky, and she did that several times. But yeah, that was
Joe, listening to your story, I got kind of a visual image in my head, and I just wanted to share it with you if they'd put it up. It's kind of what I was thinking that was going through your head at the time.
Yeah.
You guys put up the picture?
You got that, Baker? Or you want me to do
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
Sorry.
This is pretty funny, actually.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God, Nathan. Yeah, except it wasn't a gray, man. It wasn't a gray.
Well,
I mean, I
you
got
said you couldn't
frozen,
move, and every time you moved, it kept calling you back. I figured they...
I like the probes, though.
That's
good.
a familiar looking probe.
I appreciate the placement.
You were triple probed.
Hey, listen, I'd rather 3 probes there than one where it belongs, huh?
Well, that's all we can see anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I'm saying, judging by the look on my face, it might be right.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
So what? That's hilarious, though. What about you, Baker? You ever have any experience with this?
Sadly, yeah, I have. I've suffered from some kind of a night terror since I was a child, and just like what you guys have said, it's I would always have the same sort of reoccurring dream, not necessarily always the exact same, but similar. But every time, it's always something demonic. It's always something pulling me under the water or under a bed or under something. I'm always getting pulled down. And I remember trying to scream, trying to wake myself up, and I never do. I've had, people tell me it sounds like I'm whimpering when I'm trying to scream, but it's too, like, later on in my life, I've now learned it's so weird because when I have these dreams about 3 to 4 times a year. Kind of depends. I don't know what triggers it or if anything does trigger it, but I can, when it's about to happen, it's almost like I wake up in the dream and like, oh, it's this again. Okay, I know what's going on. And then I start to proceed going down this checklist in my, like, I'm having an inner monologue in my head while I'm in the dream of trying to get myself to wake up what's worked in the past. It's like I wake up in the dream, but I'm still in the dream.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, and like I said, it happens, 3-4 times a year. sometimes I remember every detail about it, and sometimes I only remember little bits and pieces about it. But I just remember, I can visualize in my head the exact situation that comes up, and then something triggers like, oh, okay, I know what's going on. Time to try to wake up. Let's go ahead and make that silent screaming sound I do. So, yeah, I've definitely experienced something. I don't know if you would consider it sleep paralysis or if it's just night terrors. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a video that I wanted to get your input on. This is some stuff that Gutters had found, and I know I had this pulled up for a while, but anyways, I wanted to play this and see what you thought about this. So give me a second here to play it.
Is that her cat on top
Yeah,
of her?
It's
the
cat
pet's
on
like,
top of
what
her,
the hell is happening?
But she's clearly making. It sounds like she's trying to scream and wake herself up. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
And
that's what it sounds like.
Notice no movement either. Like she's not moving.
Yep, that's the paralysis part.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, she just is. Maybe she just talk with her mouth. Like, I don't even see her mouth.
She's trying to. Yeah, I
Cat
know the
ain't
poor
trying to help
cat's
her,
like,
that's for sure.
help me.
Yeah, that poor
They
cat.
try to help her at all.
Yeah,
Cat's
I
like,
haven't-
I'm sleeping, B.
I haven't seen any of these, so Gutters, if there's something inappropriate in here, this is your fault. But here's another one.
No, I didn't.
Wait! What is that? What is that? Hey, put that down. Put it. Don't do anything with that. I don't know what that is. Hang on. I don't want you to do something that might hurt somebody. Oh, come
This
on.
kind of reminds me of my daughter. Like,
Where are you? Anything? No, looks good. Okay, look good.
That's literally a failure of the neurological system is what it is. They failed to shut her body off while she was screaming.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, usually when you're trying to, now I'm telling you, when you try to do these things, I told you I didn't get there yet. But when, you're trying to keep your body asleep while keeping your mind awake, that tends to be the trick to these things. And it's also the cause of sleep paralysis, right? But that's the opposite. That she's asleep and her body is acting on it. That's dangerous.
All right, here's the last one I'll show, and then we'll get back to it.
Ah! What the baby? Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Come just.
What the hell's going on here?
but watch how there's no movement from him. Like, it's like he can't wake up.
Probably just drank a
He could be
bottle of tequila.
drunk and
Right. This is me.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Open the door. Aren't you waking up?
He like still has a cigarette in his
Wake up!
mouth.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! What the?
Dude, I'd be like, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out.
Yeah, that's just paranormal. What that is.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hold
who opened
on.
the door?
That's why I
Why-
love having
why-
dogs.
Hold on. What's these three cups? I feel like they get yanked at the same time.
Is it 3 cups? That's what
It's
that is.
3?
That's three. There's three
No,
cups
that's a
there.
thing.
Looks like
That's
candles.
That's
Yeah.
the three.
There's-
That's 3-Eye Atlas.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's right.
Oh no, it's not flat.
I'm
I
glad you
clearly
guys-
see the round.
I'm glad
That's
you
not
guys
3
picked up on it.
cups. That's one object.
It's whatever these cups are. Watch, or whatever these objects are. Watch. They kind of fall in a way like they were yanked. You see what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
I know, but I want you to notice how he does not flinch.
Well,
he does not.
You have not seen my husband.
I think it's really weird. Most people would wake up by the time somebody, or kind of move. There's no movement out of him.
Unless they
throw a backhand or something, you know.
Yeah, something. I mean.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Well, and there's also, you see what perceives to be everything that's transparent there. That's dust. But there was one object that did look like an orb because it was really bright and it kind of was awkward when it was kind of jutting around the
Let's
screen.
see this orb you speak of.
Right there.
Yeah,
where?
I've seen it.
Where?
It kind of
shoots down the left side.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a lot quicker than the others, but now that I think about it, it might be a
bug.
Dust. No,
nope. That was weird.
I don't know.
Well, he might wake up if there was a probe.
That's like the stuff that happens in Upside Down, Stranger Things, right? Where it's like falling ash, but it disappears.
Oh, I love
Here
that
I am.
show.
I'm dissecting this video because that's dust right there. You see how it's flying and
I
it's
know,
going
but
so fast?
they're not asking. That wasn't their whole point. Their whole point was something knocked on the door. She could not get him awake. Like
right there. You see that right there?
What?
You see that orb? This to me that looks like an orb.
Okay, let's ask the ultimate question. Why are they filming themselves sleeping and doing this?
I already had that question.
Well, I mean,
Like we have cameras around our house.
Hey,
we don't.
There's no judgment here. Like
absolutely.
It's a man and a woman, and they both identify. We're good with it.
Anytime things like this are set up that perfect to be staged with the 3 cups right there in the thing, I call BS.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know. I didn't
BS.
like it. Like as far as being real,
BS.
entertaining though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Realistic.
Yeah. The other
didn't
ones
wake
I
up.
was
I mean, I don't
more
think I would have woken up
interested
either.
in.
I don't know that. I like looking at those kind of videos and then breaking it down. So you guys just kind of went through the mind of me while I'm looking. I was like, what the fuck? No, what the fuck? No, that's not real. I like doing that.
Yeah.
Now you guys know what I do when I get bored.
So that's what you do when the
what I
voices in your head stop talking to you.
When he wants to argue with somebody that can't
When I wanna
argue back.
Yeah, exactly. Bullshit. Bullshit.
That's funny.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. All right, so back to topic. Straight dope. You got more on this? Let's
Yeah, I
let's
do.
hear it.
Right. So I'll give you a little backstory on it, so it starts to make more sense, right? So after that,
real quick, I hate to interrupt you, but I don't know how you say this. Saline Dunn. Yeah, the entity. I remember seeing that when I was young. I remember that movie. That was there was that one scene in there. As a young kid, it was it was like kind of the hot scene in the weird movie. Yeah, I remember that movie.
That's
yes,
my
the entity.
Canadian girl, and
I don't know what the
think
entity
it's
is.
Kaylin.
Never heard of it.
Yeah,
Kaylin.
Yeah. So anyway, yes, I remember watching that movie. Sorry about that, straight dope.
all good. Yeah. So after that first time that it happened, it actually happened a couple of times after that in short order. Like I don't remember if it was exactly like the next night or the couple nights following, but it happened like 2 or 3 times in pretty short order, and then stopped. And man, I'm glad when that stopped. That's what I'll say about that. But years and years pass and whatnot, and there came a certain point, where I started, trying to learn meditation. So I learned some different meditations at first, and it starts off pretty simple and peaceful, where it's just like, oh look, now I could calm myself down. Oh, I'm able to get my breathing under control. I could reduce my heart rate in half the amount of time if I'm in an excited state if I want to or whatever. Right. But the further you kind of go into these things, and the more you practice, the more control you sort of get over your entire existence, and what you start to realize, the deeper you get into it, that a big part of the meditation is about like body asleep and mind awake. And the whole purpose of trying to do this is to get your conscious mind and your unconscious mind to kind of link up and work with each other while keeping your body in a still state, because your body is actually probably like the thing that is, your the thing that weighs you down in these higher level experiences, right? So if you could just kind of let go without the confines of your body, right, then all of a sudden you start to realize, man, I could get into some profound realizations, experiences, and so on. So I went down that road with it. And with that, what I ended up realizing is that a lot of the meditation type experiences that were very similar to sleep paralysis events. The only difference realistically being that I was able to actually, go higher than just being stuck in my room, but the body is still there. Now, the problem with this is that when you open up these doors, especially if you're none the wiser, you really leave yourself susceptible to actually experiencing sleep paralysis events on a more regular basis, because anytime you enter into a sleep state, your mind just keeps kind of going, and it's in like full conscious control despite the rest aspect. Then I started getting these events again, and they were horrifying once again. But once I realized what it was that was kind of happening, I realized that you could actually control these things. And that's what's crazy. So there's like, I don't know what the numbers look like. I never really researched it all that deeply, but my understanding and something that I experienced is something called exploding head syndrome, right? So you get into these states where and we've all experienced it, but we all have natural mechanisms to keep us out. So if you're in that state where you're relaxed and you're falling asleep, but your mind is still awake, you could feel yourself kind of like fall into the sleep, but then like you get startled out of it because you're still conscious, right? So you'll like jerk or something like that, right?
Right.
Well, sometimes, it's associated with a sound or something like that. So like for me, it's like a static, like a something like that, right? And that's me falling into it. Most of the time, that's enough to jerk me out of it. But once I realized that, well, no, if I just actually let it happen and kind of embrace it, well, then you fall into a sleep paralysis state. Okay, but you're not afraid of it because you've caused it. And then you could actually get up and wander around. It's pretty interesting. It's like really crazy stuff. But yeah, I've had this happen to me involuntarily after that a couple times too. And I've seen like some interesting stuff that I didn't even know what it was until after I saw it. Like I saw like a djinn one time. That was pretty crazy. Like I was just laying in my bed and I was like, oh, look, a black flame. Hey, how are you? And like literally like,
What did you call it? What was that?
Like a djinn, like Jin. It's like it's where like a genie comes from, like the whole myth of a genie in a bottle, that sort of deal. Like the same thing. Yeah, so pretty crazy stuff. But the whole thing about if you feel yourself falling into it, you could actually control it aspect is really, really crazy. If you literally have to consciously say, this is happening, let it happen. And then it just, it's really profound, when you do. I've gotten up and wandered around all over the place, like while I'm still laying in my bed. It's very strange.
Yeah, that is weird.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm so confused by it. So you're talking like deep meditation state.
Oh yeah, like very deep meditation state. But yeah, like you're on the cusp of an out of body experience when you're having sleep paralysis, and your conscious mind does not know how to cope with it. So if you can convince your conscious mind that it's okay and to cope with it and go along with it, you actually gain full control of it, which directly overlaps the sleep paralysis events with lucid dreaming. Now, the difference between sleep paralysis and lucid dreaming, even though they don't really seem super related, they kind of are. One is local, like the sleep paralysis event is always local. So it's where your physical body is where the start point sort of is. And, there's sort of a tether at that point to a certain degree to your physical body. Now, when you're in a lucid dream state, you're in a dream, but you're aware and in control, so you're able to steer it. And that's something that I've experienced too. Almost all my dreams are lucid. And very strange parallels to stuff. And you said before about like, I see this place in a dream, and like I can't. Every time I go into a basement, I'm like, oh my God, is this going to be the place for my dream? I could tell you matter of factly that like I have experienced very specific places in dreams that I have no familiarity with whatsoever. None. Not even in the dream. It did not feel familiar in the dream, but yet I've actually seen these places after the fact and was like, wow, wild deja vu. And
so
then
it wasn't like
a significance.
It wasn't like a DMT kind of thing, right?
I've never done DMT or any drug for that matter. I mean, smoked some weed when I was younger, but
so with everybody you've talked to about sleep paralysis, and this is me putting on the old tinfoil hat, but do you think that it's possible that it could be a cover story for like an alien abduction or an interdimensional contact that the brain can only process as a dreamlike paralysis?
No. Okay. So, I mean, and, take this with the grain of salt that it's worth, but, I personally believe that like the consciousness, is broken up into parts and it's not local to the body. Like, the body and the brain and everything like that is sort of the, mechanism in which it operates and the antenna in which it's received. So we perceive our thoughts as being in our head because our brain is the antenna, right? But at the end of the day, it's kind of coming from somewhere else. So where is that somewhere else and how do you get there? Part of you's there all the time. The biggest part of you's there all the time, right? So that tends to be like kind of the existential question at that point, I think. And, that's what meditation's able to do. Once you realize that if that's there too, well, what else lies there? Well, all of a sudden, this stuff starts to make a lot more sense. It becomes a lot stranger because this is more than potentially you just experiencing it. It could be, you just having a higher degree of perception in those moments.
I just couldn't I have such trouble relaxing. Like truly relaxing. And I took an acting class one time in college and we had to lay there and there's like completely relax your body. And like, it was so hard for me. And I realized like what a intense person that I am. It's just, I can't imagine ever being so in such a deep type of meditation to where I could. I mean, that's just, I couldn't even imagine.
I mean, I think like anything else, it would come naturally easier to some people than others, but it's one of those things that it, like anything, is a learned skill. That's all it is a learned skill. I mean,
right now I feel like so it's just
right. Honestly, the topic that we're discussing is a little bit of a tense one in the first place. Soul-sucking apparitions, out-of-body experiences, all this stuff. But I'll tell you something lighthearted that would make you feel a little better. I had this dream that I was in like this RV, that I thought was an RV, and I don't know what I was doing there. All right, and this RV, the person that I was with that I knew, but I don't know who. Okay. Like they were familiar, but I don't know who. Was like, oh yeah, well,
it was Gutter.
It might have been. Why don't you show me around? So I was like, show me around the RV, you know, and we're like in the front of this thing. So I get up and like I walk, and there's like a hallway. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. This is an RV. And this RV just like went on and on, like the size of like a trailer. Okay. Like literally a trailer. And it was crazy because it was like a 70s, like 60s, 70s time capsule, like with like green carpet and like wood paneling and like a wood burning stove with like a stand ashtray and like old ugly chairs and like bad drapes and like the whole 9 yards, right? And like then they're like, oh, and you want to see the kitchen? And there's like a kitchen, and I was like, yo, how is this an RV? This is like, how's this thing drive down the road? And then it had like multiple bedrooms and like a full bathroom. And there's like this everything was super specific. There's like this one bedroom where it's like this guy's guitar and then like his music and stuff. And
sounds like eating mushrooms at a Grateful Dead concert.
Actually, it sounds like
right?
sounds like you're explaining in an RV that I've seen on one of these RV shows, and that they've redone the entire, and they've made it like a double-decker bus, and so they have like 2 levels to it, and and they have like 7 kids that live on it with them, and
something like that, right?
Yeah.
So hold on, so I had that dream and it was super rad, and I was just like, yo, this is such a weird dream, like it was so random, and I remember so many specific like things about it. And then like I was literally about 2 weeks later, I want to say, I was literally on Facebook Market or whatever, and just like looking for something random, and then just out of nowhere it came up this trailer for sale. It wasn't an RV, it was a trailer. And I saw the main picture, I was like, what the hell? That looks so familiar. Like I clicked on it, I was like, oh my God, this is it. I had to save the pictures. It was mind blowing. Like it was it to the T, every last detail of it. For the most part, like I was like, it was just wild.
You should have went and checked it out.
Yeah. Another time I had a dream, it was like this random park or whatever, and there was this hyper specific like pond looking thing that was fenced off in this very specific way with this very specific fencing with like bushes all around it and this narrow ledge all around it, and it was like a fake pond. It was like concrete, right? That sort of thing. I saw a YouTube video that I stopped and had a screenshot because there it was, probably about a week or 2 later. I try to find the significance in these things and I simply can't, but it's just super strange. Yep.
Yeah, the whole topic is strange. Mm-hmm. So what about like with like the old hag, syndrome and stuff like that? Everybody's always talked about that with, it being the same people seeing the old hag, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I got divorced 2 years ago.
I like
Wait,
it.
did we marry the same person?
Nice.
Probably.
That's
that
actually
would
really
be
funny.
You got to get some buttons. I'm telling you, for stuff like that right there.
Yes.
Just ching.
Seriously.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Now, Baker, did you fire up the phone lines?
Yeah, the phone lines are ready.
Woohoo.
I want to see. I'm curious if anybody's going to call in and talk about their experiences with possible sleep paralysis, or ask us some questions. I mean, don't be afraid. Call in.
Well, there was a bunch of people talking about their different dreams and stuff. So hopefully, don't be shy.
Dude, call in, bruh.
There's people in the chat talking about their sleep paralysis and all this stuff. So we know you got them. I'm gonna bring them. We know you got them.
All right, Baker, do you want to give the rules? Explain how the call-in line works, or what do you want to do there?
As always, yes, I'd like to give the rules. Who would I be if I didn't do this?
Baker and his goddamn rules.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's right. Hold on, let me get my checklist out here.
And at least cam up so that we can see you when you do this, and put your glasses down on your nose so that you look like you're serious.
I gotta go get my powdered wig first. Be right back. You get my powdered wig. No, same rules apply as if you're calling into a radio station. please, for the love of God, don't talk to us on speaker. It echoes, and also there's a delay. So just keep that in mind. We tried, at least on the panel here, we keep that in mind that there is a second delay when somebody's talking on the phone to us. So keep in mind, none of us are professionals here. We didn't quit our day jobs. So with that in mind, don't talk on speaker. If you're international, sorry, you can't call in. And the phone line is 775-644-0664.
Yes.
Right. If you look at the stream, right up there on the top right is up there flashing by our burned out open sign phone lines. Open 775-644-0664. Anybody's welcome to call in, tell us about their experiences. I did see a lot of interesting things going on in the chat. Who is it saying? Sailing done there.
It's Kaylin.
Don't be shy. You're more than welcome to call in. We don't bite. Mellow Alchemist wants to know where Crispy Treat is to call in.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Okay, so the one thing I want to say is when you call in, if it's busy, if somebody else is already online and it's busy when you call in, you just need to call back because he does that so that you're not just sitting there beeping and we can't hear what everybody's saying. So if you call in and somebody's online, you have to wait till they're off and then you can call in because it'll just tell you that it's busy. So just keep that in mind.
Thank you, Gutters.
Yes.
Thank you for explaining a busy signal to people.
Well, no, it's just the fact that most people did not call back. So
I know. We get a lot of missed calls when people call in. But anybody's welcome. Call in. There's the number. I'll say it one more time, 775-644-0664 for you people in the back. There you go. Anybody want to call in, tell us what you think about it. So until somebody does or anything, we'll just keep talking about it. So, Nathan, you've never had any experiences with this. Straight Dope sounds like you've had a lot. Baker, he trembles or something, he said. KJ screams in her sleep. Gutters, just goes and, Marv drops her off to get some random surgeries done now just so he can go to the bar. I've never had a whole lot with it, but it is a scary process. We were talking about the old hag thing, earlier I brought that up. That's like one of those things that went viral when a whole lot of people kept seeing the same thing. Joe, do you know anything like really about that, like that whole topic?
Yeah. I mean, I know that after I had my first situation, I didn't know anything about it or even what it was called or anything. And then, I don't know, something I came across, I was like, oh my God, I experienced that, and what's crazy is the way that it was described was exactly how I experienced it. And it seems like a lot of the people that enter into these states, they see one of like a couple of different things, but only a couple of different things. Of all the things in the world, it's the old hag or it's the dark shadow apparition, the smoke, the fire, stuff like that, but it always comes in that state for people, for the most part. So, that's, it seems that the consistency amongst people that, experience it in the first place are just always there. And that if you were to take 100 people who have legitimately had the experience, had them write their experience down and then come into a room to discuss it, you'd probably have like huge overlap. You'd probably have like 50, 60, 70% of the people having extraordinarily similar circumstances. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I saw something one time, I don't know if it was an old hag per se. It was more of a zombie or whatever, and I wasn't scared of it because I was in my late stages, and I kind of made a joke of it. And it was pissed off that I was making a joke of it. And
they're taunting zombies in
right
in your dreams.
The more pissed off the more I was like, yo, funny, bro, cool, like not scared. like the more angry it became, thinking I would get scared, and then it was just a cycle, and then the thing literally became so angry that it disappeared.
Mm.
It was like, oh, it didn't work, huh? Oh, cool, I'm still here. Let me go do something. You know, like, it's strange. There was one time though that I woke up and I was in the state and I didn't know. I got up to take a piss, and then I got back into bed only to realize that I was there. So then I woke up again and went to go take a piss, and I had to do this like 6-7 times. And finally I got up to take a piss, and then I noticed when I got to my kitchen floor,
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Got someone.
Hello?
Hello, anybody there?
Oh, for fuck's
Yep.
sakes.
We can hear you. We can hear you. Baker's having a bit of technical difficulty. I don't think he realized that. that
No,
he was
I'm
actually-
not. I'm sorry, guys. The phone lines are jacked right now. I'm gonna
Well,
have to reboot
we heard the
server.
caller.
I can't. They can't hear us though. There's one-way audio problems.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
This is why we haven't quit our day jobs. So I gotta reboot everything. So sorry.
All right, y'all
No
bear
worries.
with us for a second. Baker's going to reboot that and definitely
Hold
call
caller.
back in. Yes.
So,
definitely.
Joe, your Groundhog
Yeah.
Day scenario was taking a whiz?
So yeah, so I was getting out of
Right.
bed. I was getting out of bed to take a piss, and I had to do it like 6 times because every time I got back, I was still sleeping in my bed, and I saw myself sleeping in the bed, and I was like, "Damn it!"
So
You know.
were you able
That's
to
usually
do
when
things
you
and
end
it
up
reset?
pissing the bed, right?
Well, no. So I ended up getting up, but I was like, "Is it going to be this time?" When I stepped on the floor of my kitchen, the floor was cold, ice cold, and I was like, "Oh, I think I'm awake." And I was.
Are you
It was
guys,
getting very
trying to
frustrated.
call
That'd
in?
be
Bear
really
with us
bad.
for 1 second. We're resetting the phone lines there. Baker's resetting that. We do definitely want to have you call back in. Crafting and contracting, we really want to hear about your abduction thing. I'm all over that. So please bear with us for one moment, and we're going to reboot the system up and call back in. But yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Please do, so we could conjure ourselves up a good guess.
Yes. That'd be cool to have my own personal Groundhog Day. You know what I mean? Then just do whatever I want and let it reset. That would be so awesome, especially if you knew you were doing it and then you knew it was going to do it, and the challenge was to even get out of it. I probably never wanted to get out of it.
What if it
I'd
was
do
a
this-
shitty day, though? That would suck.
Well, every day's kind of like that. I mean, gotta look for the bonuses and everything.
Jeez.
How many days would you get sick of listening to Sonny and Cher every morning?
Well, I don't
That
know.
would get
Nobody
exhausting.
says
They
that.
say we're young and we don't know. You're like, God dang, I got to turn this thing off.
I
You
mean,
know?
but think about it. If you
Well,
knew that you're just stuck in it, right, and
First
you knew
step's
that
a doozy.
nothing bad could really happen because tomorrow's the same day, right? Like all your things that made that day shitty in the first place, you could go and do to make it unshitty for the rest of the
Yeah.
day. So like
Well,
if you're
like-
like broke or whatever, like have your first order of business be to try to rob a bank. If it doesn't work, you try again tomorrow. You know, like
I mean, you
if
think
you can get
listening
away
to
with it for
Sonny and
24
Cher's
hours, you
hard.
got away with it forever.
Yeah.
So
You think listening to Sonny and Cher's hard in the morning, man. Try being married for 20 years. You hear the same thing every morning. It ain't no different.
It makes you want to go on a ski trip.
That's
Oh,
funny. I've
yeah.
been married 20 years.
I'm begging for that Groundhog Day, man. Yeah.
It's like Sonny Bono. He's like, God, I can't listen to this woman anymore. I'm going on a skiing trip. You know, don't mind me. First tree. He's like,
Oh, come on.
I got you, babe.
Wow. That is so. Jeez.
So wrong. But,
Yeah.
you know,
That is so wrong.
got an up close look at the scenery, huh?
right,
Oh,
exactly.
jeez.
Yeah, it barks back at you.
Well, with her, you saw the
Wow.
scenery every day.
That's so sad.
Multi put the little skiing guy in there.
Okay, I got him working. I apologize. Sometimes it just takes a reboot.
Don't want to apologize, Baker. Like you said before,
big
none of us
deal.
have quit our day jobs.
Yeah.
So are they back and running?
They are back and running. I just
All right.
tested it, so my apologies.
There you
I
go.
know, I'm not
Phone
supposed to
lines
apologize.
back up and going 775-644-0664. And we do want to say thanks to everybody who is out there watching us. 279 beautiful people right now.
Yay.
Between X, we got Old Man Build streaming. We got Gutters Pub streaming. We've got, going out on LW's channel. We're going out over here on Traveling Fools. No matter where you are watching from, we really appreciate each and every one of you out there. So couldn't do this, or I guess we could do it without you, but it would be no fun. We might as well just be talking to each other on a party line. But we appreciate each and every one of you out there watching. So phone lines are back open, 775-644-0664. If you get a busy signal, just call back, and, we can only have one person on at a time, obviously. There you go.
So, yeah. Holla.
Holla. Holla, holla, holla.
Holla. Holla la la la.
I'm curious about this abduction caller. I really want to hear about
that'll be interesting.
Yes. Yes, definitely. So KJ, what's new in the life of you? You doing any more crazy new recordings or anything like that? I heard you're doing something for Dolly Parton coming up soon.
Funny. I do love Dolly, right? She's adorable. And so talented. My gosh. She was never my favorite, though. I'm going to be honest. Patsy Cline is my favorite vocally, but that's just me. But anyway, no, I'm volunteering to sing at a old folks home this month, so I'm excited about that. It'll be fun. Sing some good, some old stuff for them, put a smile on their face. And next month I'm doing a show. A paid gig, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
You see this right here. Vortex says, I wish this show is a little sooner. It gets late here in Georgia. Well, there you go, in Georgia.
Right?
Where are you at in Georgia, Vortex? You don't have to tell us the town, north, south, middle. Where you're at. No matter where you're at in Georgia, Georgia's a great, great state.
Mm-hmm.
A lot better than that West Coast stuff.
Yeah.
We
Lame.
go off real time here.
Well, I don't know. If you was here, it'd only be 5 minutes to 9, so it would be earlier.
That does sound nice. That's funny.
It only matters, what time you think it is. A lot of times I like to just
Alatoona
pretend.
Lake. That's interesting.
Oh, Lake Altoona. That's a pretty place right there. Isn't Altoona? That's over there by outside of Woodstock, right? If I'm not mistaken. Over there. Yeah, I did some. We used to go to Lake Altoona. We would go like water skiing and doing all that kind of stuff. Fun. Pretty lake. Not real big. Small. But pretty. All right, well, there you go. You people who tried to call, who you calling, you people? But you people who tried to call in earlier, phone lines are back open according to Baker. So, yeah, go on ahead, call back in. We want to hear your stories.
Yes, call again.
We need to conjure up another guest.
Right, exactly. Otherwise, we're going to talk about, wakeboard. Oh, there we go. We got a caller on the line.
Yay.
So we'll let Baker take it away here. This is his
Yeah.
thing.
We've got Gypsy. She's calling in from Oregon. Gypsy, you are live.
Hello, everyone. Gypsy here, calling you from Oregon.
Well,
Hey.
hello, Gypsy. Good to meet you there, Gypsy. Thanks for calling in. What do you got for us here
Let
today?
me turn. Hold. I'm gonna turn my phone down so I don't. You see, because it'll confuse me hearing you both on the phone and through the phone. Okay, we're good.
All right.
What would
Well,
you guys
Gypsy,
like to
we're
know?
good. So tell us about your experiences. We're all ears.
Okay, well, if I was to tell you about my experiences, it would take you several days to hear them. So I'm just going to give you guys my last one,
All
the
right.
most recent, which was even then a few years ago. I was camping here on the Oregon coast with a friend of mine behind Cape Perpetua. It's one of the landmarks here on the coast, and we weren't in a campground. We were just camping in the woods, primitive camping. So we had our own little fire ring, and then space for our tents up under a stand of fir trees. And there's like a short little driveway off the main road into this little camp area. And it's way up on top of the mountain. It's almost to the very top of the backside of Cape Perpetua. And it was just me and this young guy. He had his own tent. He had his dog with him, and it was me in my tent, and I had my 3 dogs with me. Okay, I had it's important because you guys were talking about this guy being asleep and not waking up, and that's why I wanted to tell you this story. I had a yellow Labrador. I had a mixed, mid-sized. He's just a mutt. And then I had my Chihuahua. Okay, and then my friend, he had a young Labrador with him. All right, so about 11 o'clock, we turned in. We went to bed. The evening was completely uneventful until then. He had to work the next day, so he went in his tent and went to sleep, and I went in my tent and went to sleep. And I had my tent set up with an air mattress and my blankets on it and my pillows. It was nice and comfy. And it was like underneath the trees. So there was these huge trees. Now, if you've ever been to Oregon, you know what I mean. The trees are not too thick here. They're big. So the bark is big, okay? And it's pitch black under there. And there was no moonlight, no starlight. It was like a really dark night. And, of course, we put our campfire out before we went to bed. So there would have been no light projecting off the campfire, okay? Now, I wear glasses, and I had took my glasses off and laid them down on the floor next to my air mattress where I sleep. And of course the dogs were on the bed with me. You know what I mean? So we're sleeping. And then all of a sudden I woke up just for no reason, probably at about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm estimating because I really don't know. I didn't have a phone or a watch or anything with me to tell me what time it was. But when I woke up, it was so bright outside that I could see the outline of the bark on the tree through my tent. Okay. And I'm like, what's going on here? So I'm like, I zip down a little piece of my tent and I put my glasses on because I'm blind without them. And I see this really, really bright light. And I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. And it's above our vehicles in that driveway. And I'm like, oh my Lord, why aren't my dogs barking? They're completely silent. There's something going on outside and the dogs are quiet. My neighbor's dog is quiet. He's quiet. All of a sudden that light started slowly moving from one spot in the driveway down the driveway, like it was moving away from me. I thought it was moving away from me. And I'm like, okay, maybe I can breathe a little easier, but what?
Oh, what happened?
Oh, no.
Anyways, so I tried to wake up my friend. I started screaming to Jesse, wake up. And I'm calling for his dog. And at the same time, I'm shaking my dogs. And I'm trying to wake up my dogs. And they would not wake up. And that was pretty much the last thing I remember until morning. When I woke up the next morning, my glasses were underneath me. I was laying on them. So I know this happened because my glasses were crushed. So Jesse has no memory of anything happening that night. Never could wake up the dogs. They were fine the next day. And I ended up with an enormous headache the next day. I get migraines quite a bit. But that was my latest, the one that I woke up in the middle of.
So, did you, when you woke up, any physical injuries or anything like that?
No, but my glasses were messed up. And I had a major migraine.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Oh, I don't know if you know what a migraine is like.
Oh,
but
yeah,
a migraine
everybody
is
knows
where
what a
your head
migraine
feels
is.
like it's going to explode. I didn't have any physical injuries, not this time. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wow. Now that you mention it, I had a spot right on my right temple. And I thought at first that it was a mosquito bite, but there's no mosquitoes up there. I'm wondering if that was a remnant they left on me. Now that you mention that, I didn't even think about that till just now. That's weird.
Well, the weirdest thing to me is your dogs
Weird.
wouldn't wake up because dogs are like,
Right.
you know, as soon as you
That's not
move,
the
they're
first
like,
time we've had that happen.
that's interesting.
So how
Yeah.
many of these
Yeah, that's-
experiences have you had?
It started in 1976 when my whole family followed them down the road in Central Florida, where we ended up in a traffic jam with all of our neighbors, sheriffs from three cities, fire department, Forest Service. Everybody followed this thing into the woods. So I've been dealing with this my entire life.
Well, it was Central
And
Florida.
actually,
No, I'm just kidding.
if you want to check out some of what I've got, I just posted a video. As a matter of fact, it should be done uploading right now on my page that you guys should check out. There's actual documentation. I'm hoping YouTube posted it. I actually have a dossier that was smuggled out of the Pentagon.
Oh, wow.
Back in the late 80s, and yeah, that was when it was smuggled out. But the documents I have are dated 1947.
So do you have
You know what
these?
happened
Do
in
you have these
1947,
documents?
right?
Do you have these documents on your YouTube channel?
There's a few.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I didn't
How
put
would
'em all out there.
people explain to us how people would find? You know, this is going out on a bunch of different streams, so I don't see your link. But what is your @ on YouTube?
Crafting and conjuring.
Okay, so this is, somebody did ask if this was crafting and conjuring.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is crafting
It
and
is.
conjuring. So yes. Okay, cool.
It is. It's crafting and conjuring. And I drop little bits and pieces along the way in all my videos because I have so many stories, but they're not really stories, they're memories. These are things that I have encountered and experienced. And I wanted to get my word out, and I've been silent all these years because the timing wasn't right. But 3i Atlas is on its way, and it's time for people to understand what's going on. In my opinion, 3i Atlas is a mothership.
So you believe 3i Atlas is actually a ship coming?
I do.
Okay. I like that too. A lot of people do, and you know that's going to be really interesting to see what happens with it.
Okay, I'm gonna let you know. I already put it in the posted it in the channel. I'm a psychic medium, and I have been since I was a child. I do shadow work. I'm a light worker, and I work with a pendulum, and I'm very close with my spirit guides, and we're in constant communication about what's going on with a lot of different stuff. So it would be a good idea to contact me personally if you guys have more questions. There's so much I know, and I can't put it all out there all at one time, literally because it puts me in danger.
Yeah, I'm going to definitely have to check out your YouTube channel. Are you viewing from, which channel are you viewing from? Are you viewing from?
Who am I watching?
From mine.
Gutters.
Okay, why, Gutters.
I'm watching
Probably.
Gutters.
Okay,
I just
cool.
subscribed to
friends
your
with Gutters.
page.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to make sure I
Yes,
sub up
I
your
think
page. I'm
Gutters
going to
is
check
on my
out your
page.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just posted one today. It's taken all day to upload. I don't know if it's honestly, I don't even know if YouTube approved it yet because it's not even done uploading yet. But the one from yesterday is kind of a tip off on it. So if you just go back, and I'm a new channel, so there's not a lot of videos on there. But if you just watch my videos, you will hear more of my story and some of the things that I've had to deal with since
Well,
I was
I'm
a child.
definitely going to check that out. Yeah, because I'm really interested. So I'm definitely going to check that out. I'll make sure Gutters post that link in different channels as well. So you know we can get to that and sub you up because I'm
would be
definitely
awesome.
into it.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, we only have 27 subscribers right now, so we're such a new channel that we don't even have enough people to do a live video yet. So the more people we can get to subscribe, the better, and we would be able to get our message out there better.
Well, there you go. Well, Gunners is going to drop that link in my channel, and I'm sure she'll drop it in Nathan's as well, so everybody can go on there and check out who you are and what you're doing. I'm fascinated with that, so it should be cool.
And there's another situation I was in where I was actually in 2 dimensions at once, and other people were in those dimensions with me at once, where we literally physically saw 2 people that did not belong in our dimension. It was pretty much.
I see that every time I go to
far
Walmart.
from the first place.
Right.
You're saying we. Who's we?
Me, my spouse, and 2 friends that were camping with us.
Okay.
Yeah, there was other people with us, and they all witnessed 2, I want to say people, because they looked like people. They just showed up in my RV in the middle of the night, and the men spoke and woke us up. You hear 2 strange men speaking at the foot of your bed in the middle of the night, you're going to wake up. And I woke up. My husband woke up. My husband literally got out of bed and walked them. My husband got out of the bed and walked them to the door and let them out of our RV. And my friends were camping right outside of the RV, and they heard those men's voices too, and it woke them up. And they were looking out their window watching what was going on, and they saw the door to my camper open. And they saw the feet of those men step down onto the steps to leave my camper, but their feet never hit the ground. They just dissipated in thin air.
Oh.
It was crazy. And as a matter of fact, I lost those 2 friends that day. I haven't spoke to them since. They were so freaked out.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well, listen, we do appreciate you calling in. I'm sure we got other people wanting to call in and give us their stories.
And I could keep you on this all day. So just
I know
come
maybe
watch
we'll
my
have to
channel,
have
guys.
you on as a guest one night to tell us all about your experiences. That would actually be super cool. So I'm going to sub up your channel. Gutters is going to drop it everywhere. We're going to make sure that we connect with you. So
yes,
that would be wonderful.
Yeah, hey,
that
Gypsy.
would be wonderful. Thank you so much.
Gypsy, stay on the line for a second. After I drop you offline, I'm going to grab your contact.
Okay.
All right. Well, Gypsy, thanks for calling in. Everybody do make sure they go over there and sub her up. That would be super awesome. We want to hear back from you and more of those crazy stories. So thanks so much for calling in.
Thank you, Gypsy.
Yeah, that was interesting. An abduction story right there.
Mm-hmm.
That would be probably the scariest thing to ever happen to anybody, is actually thinking that you were abducted. That's, oh my God. You'd wake up like straight dope with all those probes, sticking out of you everywhere from
Right.
Nathan's picture there.
Right, with that look on your face.
You rang. Oh, God almighty. Yeah, we haven't heard back from our friend James. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there with James, but
we need
Speaking
to
of
explain.
probes.
We need to explain to Alexis P about the link. She keeps asking for it. I think she has a story to tell us, but she doesn't.
Okay,
I don't
will
think
do
she
that.
understands.
I will do that. This is a call-in show, so phone lines are open once again right now. 775-644-0664 is the number. Lines are open now. I'm pretty sure Baker's getting her info, so it might still give you a busy signal. If you get a busy signal and we have somebody on the line, thank you, Big Dog Mall, posting that out right there.
Yes,
we can only take
Mom.
one call at a time, obviously, but feel free to call in.
Ma, will
There's the number.
you grab her Gypsy's information and put it over on, I think, aren't you a mod on LW's? If you are, will you put her information over there too? I'm not sure how many he's got over there, but I think I put it on Fools, and I think everybody can get it from mine, so.
God,
Yeah, and
I saw
multi.
Joe put it out.
Yeah, multi
Yeah.
posted
I
it
put
out
it
there
on
too.
Old Man Builds. Yep.
Good. Thanks.
All right, I'm subbing up right now too. We got our 37 subs now. There we go. She's moving on up. I look forward to looking at some of this stuff. It looks very interesting.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Very
definitely.
interesting. So
two
there you
people
go.
at the edge of the bed, huh? And then they disappear when they get to the door. That'd freak you out.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
No.
Hate it when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I like Vortex. Vortex. We got a lot of funny comments here. 37 cents.
I know.
A lot to eat.
Oh, yeah, Jarvis is a good guy.
Yeah, footlongs.
Hold on. So Nathan says that he hasn't experienced any of this stuff, but here's the funny thing: he has. Okay,
Oh, I
just
have, huh?
not in the sense that we're discussing, right? So he works with high voltage a lot. All right, this is something I've experienced too with it, right? So whenever you get a room pumped full of high voltage and you have building out layers of fields, there becomes like dark spots in movement in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now it's not to the same extent. I don't want to say that but it is though. It's like the same thing. Like you will see dark, spooky things. You know, when you're messing with high voltage, and explain that one. But okay.
Yeah, you'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden you see a shadow move, and it's like you think an animal came out of the wall and went back in, and all you see out of your eye is that dark shadow, but then your mind starts perceiving something that came through. Yeah, it's like a mind warp. It's like the time is delayed in that area, and you're no longer like they're coming from outside the garage somewhere, like it was the desert at that time or whatever was going on, but now you're seeing them in the time you're in your building. Sometimes you get like black spots that go everywhere, man. I've never had a person like show up or anything like that, or any shadowy figure, and I've been waiting for that guy so I can have a beer with him, but I never get that guy. I always get some weird stuff going on, and I'm always looking around like, what the heck? So yeah, always get some weird stuff going on. It could just be something messing with your visual cortex, you know what I mean, as you're playing with all this high voltage. But I don't know yet, man.
But there is if you can make a connection, because you watch all these like ghost hunters and stuff go out. What they always look for is like spikes in the electromagnetic field. So they walk around with their little dope meter, and they're like, "Oh, what am I doing?"
Those shows are so.
Guys get on it, right?
I
And
can't.
the meter starts going, whatever, right? But what we know,
we do have another caller on the line here.
Oh, very cool.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't apologize, but let's take the caller. That's why we're here. Take it away there, Baker.
Yeah, we've got Debbie. Debbie's calling from New Mexico. Debbie, you're live.
Hey, how are y'all?
Hey.
How you doing tonight, Debbie from New Mexico? Thanks for calling in. What? How can we help you? What do you got for us?
Yeah, no, I have an experience. There was a UFO that came down, and it came and landed out in my fields and almost took one of my cows out.
Almost taking out one of your cows. I like it. So tell us more. We're all ears.
My husband told me that thing came to him in the middle of the night and it probed him.
That's amazing.
I love it. I love
Are
it,
y'all
Debbie.
laughing?
Well,
No.
100%. Yes.
No. Sorry.
Yes. So let me ask you this: did he like it?
He was dead serious about this. It's not funny.
Oh, that sounds awful. I'm poor guy.
Well, more details. What else happened?
Yeah.
I feel like y'all are making a mockery out of me.
No.
Well, let's start at the beginning.
My
Let's start at
husband-
the beginning. So tell us about this experience, Debbie.
Yes, we need more details.
There was a green shining flying light that came down into my field where my cows are. I live down near where Roswell is.
Mm.
Y'all were just talking about Roswell, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so when you saw the UFO fly in, I mean, what did the UFO look like? Like, what did you see?
I didn't see it walking out of there.
My husband said that he had the experience with it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Did he describe it
I
to you?
just saw it, and I almost saw that it almost hit Betty.
So it wasn't trying to pick the cow up. It flew toward the cow.
It crashed towards the cow.
Oh, it crashed.
And
Wow.
so,
Yes.
did he see these things come out and like before it got a hold of him? I mean, I'm seriously.
I don't know. I think he was. To him, I almost feel like it was a dream. But if I wouldn't have seen it, I wouldn't have believed it myself.
And
But he said that thing came down in on him on the bed, and it probed him, and that he was taken into the UFO Space Center, or the UFO, the flying object thing, and that he saw something weird up there, like things with almond faces and eyes. I'm not shitting you.
You said that
real.
it crashed into Betty, right?
No, it almost did.
It almost did.
Well, so
now is this a brown Betty or?
No. I'm serious.
Brown Betty? No, she's black and white, you dumbass.
Get him.
What's wrong with you?
Jeez.
Get him, Debbie. Get him.
I love it.
Love Debbie from New Mexico.
Yeah.
All right, Debbie from New Mexico.
Don't say it if you
hold
can't take it.
This
So-
thing, what did it look like? Because
Why
you're
are y'all
saying it
laughing at me?
crashed
This is
and then
not-
it got
Oh, we're not
probed.
laughing at
I
you.
just thought that I would share my experience with y'all.
Yeah, I'm glad you are sharing
Why
it.
are y'all laughing at me?
Oh,
No. We're not
No, we're
laughing,
not laughing at you, but it's
You called him
So-
a dumbass, so we were laughing.
I mean, right? You called him a dumbass.
At least she hits the nail on the head.
right? I mean,
That
we
is
know
true.
he's a dumbass.
I mean, did they take your husband? Did he say that he had like an
No,
experience
my
outside
husband's
the
still
home?
here, unfortunately.
Oh well, can't win them all.
See,
can
there's
ya?
another. You can't be funny and expect us not to laugh. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, that I will admit,
Yeah.
that's one to laugh at.
I mean, right, and
I always tell
peace,
him,
love, and all
maybe
things.
that alien should have taken you away, honey.
right? That they couldn't take you for longer.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest and say it was hard not to giggle
Probe
when
him
it's
and
like,
take him away.
yeah.
Well, I didn't know there was such a southern accent in New Mexico. It's just throwing me off. That's why I was.
I'm not from New Mexico.
Oh, well, that makes me feel a little
I'm
better.
from North Carolina, honey.
Okay.
North
You from the
Kakalaki.
NC. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm from Asheville, but I live in Artesia, Arizona, or New Mexico. I'm sorry. I'm sitting
I
here.
love it. I love it. Well, Debbie from Artesia, New Mexico. We do thank you for
I
calling
thought she
in
was
with
from
your-
Dallas.
With your hang on, we do
Debbie
appreciate you
does
calling in with your
Dallas.
experience,
Yeah.
and definitely we wish your husband well. And hopefully that does not, unless he liked it. Then we do hope it happens. To
I
him
do have one
again.
question.
Yes, take it away.
Was this probe, was it long and silver, about 5 inches around and 31 and a half inches long? I'm just curious, asking for a friend.
I don't know. He didn't want to talk
Asking
about it.
for
He
a
just told me
friend.
he was probed.
Oh boy.
Oh, geez. All right, Debbie. Well, we do appreciate your call, and definitely make sure you call back in.
Amen.
Thank you very much for calling.
Yes.
Look,
Thank you for calling,
I'm gonna talk to
Debbie.
Hector, and I'm gonna get back to all y'all about. I'll find out all the details of his experience, and I'll give you guys a call back. I really find this to be a fun and enjoyable stream.
Oh well, you're a fun,
sharing that stuff
enjoyable
like this.
person.
Hey, thank you so much for calling.
Yeah. Make sure you smash that thumbs up.
Okay.
Thank you, Debbie.
Yeah, I definitely will. See y'all again.
All right,
Debbie.
Debbie.
Thank you.
man.
There we go.
How do you start off a story with somebody got probed and not laugh?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I'm gonna take a random survey. I'm gonna have to just walk out into public supermarket or something, just walk up to 10 random people and go, so you wouldn't believe it. The UFO almost crashed into Betsy the cow, and my husband said that he got probed, and just like if none of them laugh, then we're just a bunch of dicks. You know?
Yeah, I'm
But
not sure if that was
a great story.
I'm not sure if that was what's her name from My Name Is Earl. It sounded more like that.
Is
Joy from My Name Is Earl.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm pretty
that
sure
show
that was
so
Joy
funny.
from My Name Is Earl. Hey, big shout out to Vortex, $10 super chat there, calling from Jamaica Mon from a VPN. Well, Vortex, if you can call in, you are more than welcome. But we really do appreciate the support. Things like that do help keep all these channels going, running the programs, doing the stuff. Thank you very much, Vortex. Much appreciated. Folks, phone lines are back open. We'll keep this going for a little bit longer. 775-644-0664 if you want to call in. Phone lines are open.
Oh my God, dude, I lost it when you started describing the probe. Okay, I'm sorry.
I
was
couldn't
trying
help
not to
it.
laugh to be respectful to the lady calling, but man, it got me.
She was on her way out. I figured it was okay. She'd do a slow burn and still come back later.
You have to call it the object. It's the object.
The object.
Yes.
I mean,
exactly.
you know what? It may very well have been that same damn probe, because the fact that her husband didn't want to freaking talk about it. I mean,
He's like, we're not gonna.
I don't
5
know.
inches
Don't
in
ask.
diameter. I wouldn't want to talk about it either.
Since I've seen it, when somebody says probe, that's all I can think of is that. So, I mean,
Seriously. It puts the lotion on the probe.
So did it have a Jewish star on the head?
Did you guys?
somebody go Diddy on it.
Yes, it's definitely circumcised. It's definitely circumcised.
Oh yeah, you rush it with the baby oil.
No turkey neck on that probe.
Did you guys happen to see James's latest update with his letter from a government entity?
No.
Oh yes.
Details,
Yes,
please.
Oh, you definitely need to check this one out. We haven't heard back from our friend James, but
Well, should we watch it?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
No? Okay.
no.
All right.
You know, if he wants to give us more information, he can call back in, James. But yeah, that was definitely an interesting call right there.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, phone lines. Baker, are you back with us? I feel like we don't know if Baker's here or not.
He's the antisocial social club.
I know he might have somebody in the back again. But phone lines are open. I'll say it again, 775-644-0664.
Maybe they are, unless he's talking to
Vortex
somebody.
said he tried to call earlier and didn't get through, so holla.
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 Jarvis, when you get back, you better be calling in.
Oh, caller on the line.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we
yes.
go. Take it away, Baker, sir.
Boom.
Yeah, so I've got Guru, our friend Guru. He's calling from Florida. Guru, you're on the air.
Hey, how's the panel doing?
How we
Good.
doing, Guru? Very disappointed you didn't stop by and see me. But so what do you got for us? Have you been probed or abducted lately?
No, we can talk about that, but concerning the first thing, you got to pick up the phone. But so as far as being probed, no. And in fact, I think that is a mathematical impossibility, and that was going to be one of my first questions to the panel. What is everybody's thoughts on the Fermi paradox? And if you're not familiar, it's basically Enrico Fermi was a brilliant Italian physicist who basically posited the fact that if there were aliens, then why have they not visited us yet? Basically saying that we're so far away in physical terms from aliens that there are no aliens because we've never been visited yet. So I just wanted to get the panel's thoughts on that. And second is kind of conjoined to the first question. what about the multiverse? Like, meaning, like, if there is a true multiverse, then everything we're doing right now has already been done in infinite amount of different versions. So, and then lastly, it was and KJ pointed this out, I was very impressed by the North Carolina accent of the New Mexico call-in. That was amazing. Really, I didn't realize Roswell had such a thick North Carolina accent.
It was really thick.
All right,
It might have been Roswell, Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just curious to know y'all's thoughts on those two subjects.
Okay, I've got an answer on one. I'll let somebody else take away with the others. As far as aliens visiting, what if we are the aliens?
What?
Well, what if we already visited a long time ago, and now we are part of the aliens?
Well,
where,
you are
where will
tall
we have
and
visited from?
you are tall and skinny with a funky looking head full, so you could be kicked off as an alien, but me? I don't think they could.
Live long and prosper.
Nano.
I mean, isn't the obvious thing with that, like, who's to say that we haven't been visited? Like,
but
am I alone in that? Like, yeah.
But the whole thing is like, okay, let's say we are the alien, and let's say that was 20,000 years ago. But where? Like, 20,000 years is nothing in the grand scheme of this whole universe or multiverse. Where did we come from?
Well, we don't know. I'm a firm believer that our Earth is and our civilizations are a lot older than what we think. I think we've had a lot of resets happen in this world. I'm almost under the belief that the pyramids weren't built by the Egyptians, more so the Egyptians found the pyramids.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. With all of that, I agree.
That was
Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that there, Guru?
I think we underestimate people. I think back then they were capable of a lot greater things than we give them credit for. I really do.
Now, this is
Yeah, I would
something
think
that
so,
the
too.
old man and I have discussed a few times, because who's to, like, we think of technology like what we're doing right now. We're on computers and cell phones and whatever, and it's this thing, right?
Exactly.
But who's to say that we're not the monkey minds that finds this to be the greatest thing since sliced bread, but we're missing the entire point, and they had to figure it out all along. So when our monkey-headed archaeologists start digging through all remains of ancient civilizations, they're like, oh, these were primitive people, because they're not identifying things that we would consider high tech.
Mm-hmm.
Even though their technology could have been far superior, didn't require anything physical whatsoever. And here we are missing the point because the writing's on the wall. It's not a physical object, right? So
what's the saying? Like, you can't see the forest through the trees. Like, I feel like we do that a lot with history. Like, we feel like, people 500, 1,000, 2,000 years ago, like, they weren't sophisticated and they didn't understand life and like economy and interaction, but I think they did. It was just at a different time. So I feel like we don't give these people credit. Like, they knew what they were doing, and they were smart, and they knew how to function, and they were capable of great things. And so when we see things in the past, we're like, oh, surely, like, they couldn't have accomplished those things. We have to say, oh, it was alien, or it was something not of this world, but maybe it was them, And we live in such a very convenient society. It was very comfortable. Things are easy, and it's hard to explain hard work and effort. and things that take maybe 200 years to accomplish. But again, like things are they weren't at the fingertips of ancient people. It took time. It took effort. It took generations to accomplish. But we don't give any credence to that. So that's my thought on that. I feel like we don't give enough credit to people that lived in the past.
Yeah, and go Bigfoot.
Go Bigfoot. Well, my thoughts on that, and I do think that our Earth is older than, or at least our civilizations are older than what we do believe. I mean, we're finding things all over the world right now. With these new like ground penetrating radar, all these different things. They're showing dates that are dating back. I mean, one catastrophe can cover up. If we built, like, if right now we took the house I'm in and a catastrophe happened, in 1,000 years, in 500 years, you would never even know it was there. Our skyscrapers would be gone. Our everything would be gone. Things would be buried under earth. We know the world changes. We know it's going to happen again. Not in our lifetimes, but in 10,000 years, 5,000 years, there's going to be another flood. There's going to be shifting of the earth. There used to be one supercontinent, and everything's changed into different things. We've had multiple ice ages. We know this. This is fact. How do we know?
How is it fact? I'm sorry. A lot of that is all theory.
No, there is proof of things like that. Yeah.
I'm totally. I think the Earth is younger than it. That's just my belief. I'm totally opposite. I had to chime in. Sorry.
Oh no, and that's why we keep you here.
Do you?
I mean, I look at it biblically, so that's the way I look at it. I view it as, 2000. I think a million years, whatever. I think is silly. I think everything it's all theory.
Let me ask you this. So you look at it biblically, what does that mean as far as how old civilization is?
What, 2,000 years? Isn't that around?
Well, we all know that 12,000 years ago, there was the Great Flood.
There was a Great Flood, right? How do we know it was 12,000 years ago?
Well, I mean,
it's all theory.
Nobody really knows. Yes, you're right. It is theory.
It's all theory, though, but.
Interesting. I mean, all like the scriptures suggest that the flood would have been about 12,000 years ago.
What scripture says 12,000 years?
Like the Old Testament, when you break down how the Hebrew Bible is, it started like their calendars more or less started like Moses,
so the Protestant churches will tell you 5,000.
Yeah,
I grew up in that, but
yeah, you know what? I think you're right, because you know what? The Hebrew calendar and stuff is like just shy of 6,000 years or something at this point. So they're probably saying half. But then before then, the whole time of like Eden, the transitional periods out of Genesis and stuff like that, those times are undefined, and because of the eternal nature of it, it's hard to say how long that situation was even going on for. And there were generations that were already ongoing by the time the Hebrew calendar started, almost 6,000 years ago. So there's consistency for at least that.
Yeah. I mean, I thought but here's kind of my point. It's like 5,000 years or even 15,000 years, like that, whatever. And if you compare that to the ginormous, like the huge vastness of the known universe, any way that any kind of extraterrestrial life could find our planet in that time frame, considering how distant we are from anything else that we know about, is insane. Like the time doesn't add up. So the only explanation is it's not a distance traveling thing; it's a dimension thing. Like
I agree.
Wormholes, like they have to jump through wormholes. Okay. So if that's the case, why haven't they shown up yet? And that's the whole Fermi paradox. And it's very interesting. And I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but it's a great thing to think about is if there were aliens, then why aren't we not seeing them right now?
I agree. I personally don't believe in aliens.
Do you not remember Mork and Mindy and Alf? Come on.
I hope it's Alf.
Well, if you read Cuneiform, then you would know they talk about Tiamat and the time of Tiamat before, Mars was populated and before Earth was populated itself. There was a planet called Tiamat in the asteroid belt, and they have stories about that. So there's also Josette Tepe, where they say it's over 12,000 years old. The pyramids are at least that old, if not more, probably closer to 20,000 years old. I think that we had evolution after evolution on this planet and other planets as well. Do I believe that everybody blew each other up in some kind of space thing? No. But I think space is misleading in the way that we understand it completely. Because you have to remember we're going around in a spiral galaxy. So any planetary system that's around us could be closer than what you actually think it is, because we're moving in a spiral form around it. That means that we're moving through space. We don't realize that we're moving through space, but we are, and we're protected by a bubble that's followed around our entire solar system. So it could be as easy as once you break out of that you could just stop right there, and then it'll catch up to you, and you'll go right into their solar system as well. So, yeah, it's a little different. I think that we definitely had some sort of aliens here. I don't know that any alien would look any different than us. There's a certain way life builds out on planets. I don't think it's going to be majorly different. But I think there's several generations from several different planets in our own solar system that could be here. And I do think that there is some, thought about some kind of inner Earth people that go, inside the Earth. They get below the field that's below our feet, and it could just be the same thing, like a planet that we would be in right under our feet. So definitely believe in like Agartha, stuff like that.
Yeah. I like that thought. And I'll say it again. I do think our world has reset multiple times. And to your point, KJ, I don't think biblically that takes away from anything really. I mean, the Bible is our recorded history from what we know.
Right.
And I believe in that Bible, and I don't think that takes away from it. Okay. But I do think that our earth has had many resets through the years. And if you look, I mean, even if it's 1 million years of human history, then, those many catastrophes have happened. It's inevitable. We will get hit by another asteroid. That is inevitable. We will have another ice age. That is inevitable. We will have all these things happen. That doesn't mean that you're not believing in God or anything like that.
Right.
It just means that that's my opinion on it.
Right.
And with the Fermi paradox, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, so, like in the past, like, for example, how we would say, like, well, not how we would say, but how ancient Greece, and they had mythology, and they had gods. And that was their way of explaining things, like nature. Like, how did nature work? How did the tides work? How did the sun come up and the moon come up? And it was all explained through their religion, through gods.
Right.
And I feel like it's almost like modern day when we look at things in the past, if we don't know how to explain, how did these pyramids construct? We don't know. So we say, oh, well, aliens did it.
No, I agree with you. I think people did it. Yeah.
Right. So I just feel like a lot of things like that we don't have the answers to, we just try to say it's extraterrestrials. But I just think you know what? Guess what? We're not the only humans. We're not the only generation to ever live on this planet. And guess what? There's some smart people before us. And they had a way of figuring things out. And I think there was a better appreciation of time and work before us. Like, I think people before us knew that great things took time. And what is 100 years to us, which is like ancient history, like, oh my God, that's World War One. I mean, it's longer than World War One. To people in ancient Egypt, that was like, oh, you know, that was my great grandfather. So, you know, it's like the frame of reference is so different. I just don't think we give enough credit to the human race in ancient times. That's just my opinion.
No, and I totally agree with that. I think humans have been doing fascinating things over and over again, and I think we've been taken back to down to our knees and all that stripped away from us many, many times, but the human mind will always prevail and rebuild.
Yes. Yes.
So what I was saying,
sometimes,
and I think even like ancient Greeks would have to explain things to like gods and stories, or even like the stars. What do you call it? The constellation. I think we do the same thing when we don't know how to explain what happened in the past. It's just in a modern way. And our way is saying, well, aliens were involved because we have no way of explaining of how it was done. That's just my thought.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you go to Indian culture, then what you get there is they didn't want to build skyscrapers. They wanted to live in harmony with the earth. So for thousands and thousands of years, they're going to do the same traditions, the same ways. But they had things that they understood better than us, like cold light. When you have two rocks that are slammed against each other and you have light. They also understand healing practices and all the different herbs and stuff that are all over the world.
Yep.
Very much understanding a lot more than we ever do, even to this day. Ancient Indian cultures, like in India, would be the same way in how their healing techniques work, and it's more harmonious with the human body. So, yeah, there's a lot more to it. They may not just want to be like us.
I totally agree with what you just said. Like, if anything, they may have a better understanding of how to effectively live on this earth than we do. Like, totally agree. Totally agree.
I think it's interesting.
I just wish we gave more credit. I just wish we gave more credit to our ancestors. That's all. They weren't idiots. They weren't.
Well, let me ask you this, Guru.
They didn't understand the functions of humanity and
well. Let me ask you this.
You know what?
Hang on. Okay. Let me ask you this. So with the new discoveries being, they scientists, it's all said to be written and they can't change their mind. But now that we're finding these other places like Göbekli Tepe and, things like that, showing that human race was doing things long before recorded science is saying that they should have been able to do it, shouldn't we all take a step back and look and go, wow? And, what is under the jungles, in Brazil? What is under Antarctica, all the sheets of ice? We don't know, but it seems like everybody's afraid to explore that idea.
Yeah, but I totally agree. But if anything, to me, that just tells you like the power of the human race, like that maybe we've been here longer and we've flourished longer. Like, I don't think that has anything to do with aliens, because like I was saying, in the grand scheme of things, what is 10,000 or even 100,000 years compared to intergalactic travel that it would take to get to this one lonely rock in an outpost of the Milky Way, which is way out of the way of the whole grand known universe. Like 100,000, a million years, it means nothing. So we're talking like what's it called? Getepe? I can't think. The place in Turkey.
Yeah,
like,
Göbekli
we were
Tepe.
thinking that. So we're thinking humanity was there maybe 5,000 or 10,000 years before Sumeria. Okay, which is freaking rad, but that's not in the galactic terms. That's nothing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think we've given enough credit to how powerful the human race has been over time. We're a very, very powerful people. Like, the civilization's been amazing.
So this
And
is where I
just feel
wanted
like we
to
got to give
interject though,
ourselves some
real
credit.
quick, into what you were saying, because and it all is playing a role in the same thing, right? I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that we do not give ancient cultures enough credit, to the point where we become dumbfounded every time we find something older and more sophisticated.
Absolutely.
And it's nonstop. But instead of thinking just straight backwards, we got to think forwards a little bit, just to address like the Fermi paradox that you were discussing. Now, there seems to be like little tidbits of not proof or evidence per se, but like indications that there could have potentially have been like alien interaction in the past. But now, where has society gone for humanity? What have we become over time? Were we always warring people, or did we have greater enlightenment at one point in time that maybe fell to the wayside? And realistically, after one of these major catastrophes has a huge wipeout effect on humanity, what were we coming out of that? Realistically, I think it would stand to reason that if you have an extraplanetary society that's capable of interstellar travel, probably interdimensional transient travel, okay, and all that entails technologically, you would think that they also have the ability to like see what they're getting into and know the circumstance. And like you said, what would be the purpose if we were in a state of violence and scarcity and fighting with one another, in a state of lost enlightenment, and we're literally backtracking societally, and we're no longer. That would be like me taking ravenous grizzly bears in a cage and saying, you know, here, you want to go in there? You could look at it from afar and say no thanks, right? And well, now they're not here. And what have we done realistically over the past 500 or 1,000 years, other than command, conquer, and commit genocide against each other? So it is what it is. And then now finally society's falling into a place that, even though the media wants you to think that the world's in some kind of state of turmoil and stuff like that, the reality of it is that everybody on this planet is better off and safer than they were only a few decades ago, and definitely more so than 100 years ago.
I totally
so
agree.
we're at a greater time of peace than ever before. And now all of a sudden you start hearing the conversation of aliens, extraterrestrials, all this stuff, and how long have they been here, right? So it's an interesting thing to think, and how much information and knowledge has been lost. If they could have been easily, and I'm not saying what I believe, I'm just playing devil's advocate with the topic of conversation here, just to be clear. But there could have been a time in society where that was commonplace and normal to a degree, or something that was accepted. And then that just fell out of question, for whatever reason.
Yeah. Great points. Great points. To me, like, I don't know, like in my mind, the answer is in the future. So, like, I think, to me, there is a more justification to like a multiverse, to where everything we're doing right now has already happened. Like, that makes more sense to me than aliens 10,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Just from a mathematical and a scientific logic, that makes more sense to me. And what you were just saying, I totally agree with. Like, this is not even like aliens or anything, but I feel like in this present day, we actually live in a safer world than we ever have, but we don't feel that way. Why? Because we have more connectivity through social media. So anything that happens is known right away. Back in 1960s, 70s, 80s, that wasn't the case. You read in the newspaper, you might have heard it on the radio. But everything that happens now is immediately reported. And that wasn't the case. But even the crime rates tell you we live in a safer time we've ever lived, but you just don't feel it.
Well, you look at
weird
Orson Welles almost broke down the whole society doing War of the Worlds live. People actually believed that was going on at that point.
People flipped out. I remember my grandmother telling me about that. Like she called into like her police saying like freaking aliens are attacking.
Right.
I remember that. Like
That
she
would
told me all about
that would have been that would have been terrifying to be in that moment. You're
You know,
like,
wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool to know what was in the Library of Alexandria?
Oh yeah.
You know, if you could go back and look at
I
these
just
things
had
that
this
have been lost.
conversation. Like all that ancient knowledge is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
That would've
it's
been
compromised, but not gone if you know where to look and you know the pieces to put back together. But now it's a puzzle. It's a fractured puzzle. It's in pieces all over the place. And Nathan and I and the people that we work with take a lot of time to put these things back together. And a lot of it makes sense, which is the crazy part.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't think that you've really looked at how propulsion and everything goes. Think about it. You're thinking about a rocket propulsion when you're talking about how far away they are. Just understand this: once you get into gravity and stuff like that, you get into time dilation. So you get into time manipulation in a field. So who's to say that you couldn't travel anywhere you want without having a multiverse? So even now, our B-2 bomber gets up in the air and it starts to cancel inertia by putting an electromagnetic field around the entire plane. So it is able to go faster through a Mach. Well, what happens when you reduce that completely and you have zero inertia? Does that means that you're not compromised inside of the energy of any system? But then take it further. What if you use that energy to propel yourself because there's no inertia and you can go to another planetary system instantly? I think the future is going to hold a lot more interesting stuff for propulsion than you think. And some of the arguments of they're too far away go away right away when you get into that train of thought.
I think all the answers are in the future, not in the past. That, like I was saying earlier, like I totally agree. But like one of the things that this has nothing to do with aliens or anything like this, but it's just kind of like a frame of reference, and it's always stuck with me. Was I think it was probably about 20 years ago. Guy I worked with, he was an extremely smart guy, and he said something. We were talking about history. He knew I liked history, and he was a history buff too. We're talking about the French Revolution. And he's like, Chris, he's like, people think, back then that they didn't have an understanding of the world and like how things worked and, finance, economy, politics. And he's like, you know what? They did. And it still turned out bad. He goes, don't you ever think that couldn't happen in today's world? And that always stuck with me because, like, the French Revolution, when that happened, like France was the leading country at the time. Like they had the biggest economy, they had the most people. Did they have some issues like inequality? Yes, and they tried to address it, and it all went to hell. But I don't know, like that always stuck with me. But that was 200 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. So
not in the scheme of
really
things.
Think like. Yeah, we think about, we read about things, we study about things, we think, talk about things, but things, it doesn't change that much. 200 years ago isn't really that long ago in the scheme of the human race. You know what I mean? So I don't know, just something to think about. But I'm enjoying the show. I'll drop off, and I hope you all have a great night.
Yeah, as always, Guru, a great caller, a great
It's awesome.
Contribution to the show. We always love hearing from you. That's awesome. So thanks for calling, and we do have to get this thing wrapped up. We're going on almost 2.5 hours now.
Yep.
So
Have a great night. Great
all
show.
right, thanks a lot for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Guru.
There you go, folks. A Guru calling in. Always a good caller right there. Very insightful and intellectual.
That was awesome.
Person. So, what'd y'all take away from that?
I mean, I a lot of what he said, I totally agree with, for sure. The pyramids and all that, yeah.
Right.
We don't give civilization enough credit.
No, but here we are. And we're able to sit here. I mean, look at where we are right now.
Right.
We're all in different parts of the United States.
Yeah.
And we're sitting here being able to do Gutters is bouncing. I mean, she's even got a bouncing ball, and all this stuff like that. I heard that James sent her that the object.
That's right. Joe's supposed to be holding it, but he's slacking.
I'm sorry. Listen.
All you gotta do is, hold. Just act like the Statue of Liberty.
Oh my gosh.
It is 1 o'clock in the morning by me. My second 2-hour plus cast of the day.
I know you've already done it. You've already done it.
I'm like,
yeah.
This is dedication right here. Well, yeah. So we'll go on ahead. We'll wait for Baker to come back before he finishes up that call. Oh, he's already back. Look at that.
I'm back.
Okay. Baker, great job running the phone lines there. You did great.
Yes, thank you, Baker.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody that called in. I got 30 missed calls, so we had a lot of people wanting to call and talk tonight. I am so sorry. Please tune in again next week. Wait, nope, won't be here. Got to be the following week for our Ghost to Ghost show.
Ghost to Ghost. That will be Halloween night.
Yes,
And
be here
we
and dress up.
Okay, but next week is a really, really good show that Baker is actually going to miss. And it's actually going to be, we'll send out links, but, or we'll post a link. But that one is going to be super fun because it's going to be horror movies based on true stories.
Yay.
That's next week?
That'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yay.
The story of my life.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about, obviously it's the spooky season. We're coming up on Halloween. We're going to be talking about like the, horror movies based on true stories, the origins, and things like that, like where these movies got their starts. The week after is obviously going to be Halloween. We're going to see some costumes coming up on here. We're going to see things like that. Maybe we'll work out some kind of thing and maybe do some kind of contest, something. I don't know. We're throwing all that up in the air, but we're definitely going to want to hear everybody's spookiest stories on that night.
Yay.
So, Baker, did you want to tell people about any kind of website, anything like that going on, or is that?
Well, I mean, I will say that if anybody out there has any questions that you want to send us offline, and or if you want to potentially schedule to be a guest on our show, you can email us now at contact@abbinormal.com. I am in a process of working on a website, but abbinormal.com is up and running where you can watch the live shows, but it's under construction. So bear with me. I'm only one person with so much time. But contact@abbinormal.com if you have any questions for us that we can read on the air when we come back, and or if you want to schedule to be a guest.
Yeah, there you go. We would love everybody to go over there, check out, abbinormal.com. Anybody wanting to be a guest, definitely. Contact@abbinormal.com. ABBI normal.com. Whatever. Baker explained it better than me. So let's go on ahead and get this thing wrapping up. Gutters Pop, what do you got going on for us the rest of the week?
Pretty much the, same old. We will start out next week on Tuesday with our Tuesday night show. And then we will do Friday again. So we're just going like crazy. Maybe or maybe not, we'll have a coffee club. I don't know. It all depends on how I feel when I wake up on Friday mornings.
All right. Everybody can go there. Just type in Gutters Pub into YouTube. She's going to come up. There are no other Gutters Pubs.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on. Nathan, Old Man Builds. What do you got coming up for us, brother?
Basically, Joe and I are going to work on the RAV a little bit. I set up a day on Sunday to do it. We got new parts that came in, so we're going to be looking at that, slowing down footage, seeing exactly how these things build. It's going to be pretty awesome. We got to put in a lot of work. We've been getting a little slow on it, so I plan to spend the whole day Sunday just burning my eyeballs out trying to get these things done so I can get all the footage of Joe and he can check it out. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing, just making energy balls in the garage here.
Our mad scientist. I love it. I love it. The mad scientist.
And just
cool. Everybody, if you type in Old Man Builds into YouTube, you're going to find Nathan's channel. Brilliant stuff over there. You'll see all kinds of Tesla coils and all this stuff that I don't quite understand, but it is fascinating. So
nice. Everybody
check him out. KJ.
Hey.
What do you got going? Dolly Parton called you back yet?
Yeah, no, not this week. I know she had some medical issues, but anyway, yeah, I've got a busy week ahead of me. But yeah, check out my channel, sub it up. If you have any requests for me to sing something, maybe you like, I'd love to give it a whirl. Yeah, that's it.
Well, where do people find you?
It's my YouTube is at yes Katie did, and it's Katie with a Y. Don't forget it. So yeah, check it out.
All right, I like it. Straight dope. The Village Idiot.
Yeah, well, KJ, I need to know. Can you sing me "Bobby Brown Goes Down"?
I don't know that. I'm gonna check. Yeah.
Google that.
Okay.
See if you could post that up for me. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Now, what do I have going on? Nothing. That's it.
All right. Well, you got a channel, Straight Dope. You wanna shout it out?
Yeah, it's the Straight Dope. That's look it up. You'll see a little Alex Grayhead thing that I painted. It's my logo, some crappy songs, and Joe cooking, and that's all that's on my channel. If you want to watch me, you check me out on Fridays on Old Man Builds.
There you go. I like it. Baker, you got any last words for us?
Just that, again, I won't be here next week, but I'm sure everything will just go without a hitch, and check your Cash App.
I know. I got you. All right, cool. Well, everybody, big shout out to everybody coming in here. Big, thank you to Jason R. I'm not going to say your last name. I'm not going to dox you. Much appreciated on the Cash App that came in. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. And a big shout out there as well to Vortex coming in there supporting the show as well. Thank you very much, Vortex. That is super cool. Both you guys, without you guys, we can't keep this stuff going. So we do all thank you. And we do thank everybody watching over on X, everybody watching on YouTube, watching everybody's channels. This is super cool. Thanks so much. You make it happen. So we'll be back next week, and we will be talking about horror movies and their origins, things like that. We do hope to see everybody right there. So what is the old saying? Same bat time, same bat channel. We will be back. So that being said, thanks so much, everybody, for being here. Make sure you tell us goodbye in the chat, good night, or, F you, or anything like that. Just make yourself heard. Everybody have a great night, and God bless.